On today's episode of the Baka Gamerz Podcast,
Wait, hold on. Wait, I can't let this.
You shut up. You shut up. You shut up. Hold on a second.
Black and white,
Hold
bro.
on. I'm gonna let you have your thing. I'm gonna let you have your thing.
What? Catching the genies and then getting the Therian forms? Catching
did not
Kyurem and then getting Kyurem's other two forms?
I did not care.
User Reshiram and Zekrom? Getting
I did
Genesect
not
and getting all the plates? Getting Keldeo and getting Keldeo's alternate
Are
form?
you okay, my dude?
Wait a minute. This
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Baka Gamerz Podcast. On this podcast, me and my friends chill, relax, and talk about all things video games and anime. And then on today's episode, we're going to dive into the Pokemon games and kind of talk about what we like about them, dislike about them, and what we wish that came out of these games. But before we go dive into that, I want to introduce the crew. First up, we got my boy Glow.
What's up?
We got a returning person. Feels like it's been forever. Nye.
Has it been forever?
Feels like it has.
So I like Mega Man
Podcast
Star
was.
Force. I just had to put that in after last time.
She listened to the last podcast and she felt offended.
I felt very offended, but
Oh.
continue.
And then we got my boy John.
What's up? What's Poppington?
And then we have our girl Aoi.
Hi.
And I don't really know how to introduce this other person. So Aoi has. Damn, I'll edit this out later. But bottom line, we have
A co-pilot.
a co-pilot in the wings. Our boy T. I don't know if he can hear us. Yeah, he can. Okay, cool, awesome. But there we go. That's the crew for tonight. First off, I'm gonna start off. How you guys doing? How's life? We were supposed to record last week, but everyone pretty much got busy.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much where we are right now, buddy.
True.
Like you were like, "How's life?" And I was like, "You're really gonna ask that to us?"
Hey man, who knows, man? Like it might be some big life changes. People might
Well,
got some more
Life
money.
is at a point where we had to reschedule.
Yeah.
Look, that tells you literally everything.
That's our lives on the podcast. But I'm glad everyone's here tonight. So as always, before we start doing the main topic, we usually like to kind of take turns and figure out, anything news where we want to talk about. I'm gonna go first because this came out this weekend, surprised the hell out of me. Kingdom Hearts 4.
Hey,
That game, let me just say, I woke up. What was it? Sunday? It got announced. Was it Sunday or was it Saturday?
It was Sunday. It was
April
Sunday.
10th.
Like legit, I wasn't expecting anything from this anniversary. I was expecting like the mobile game or something, or like maybe an inkling of Kingdom Hearts 4, but not a full-on trailer, yo. Not a full-on trailer that actually looks better than the previous Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer.
I disagree with you
Jeez.
strongly on that one.
Go.
hey, fall back.
What? Okay, go on. Sure.
I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it looks.
You just don't like Sora's design.
It's not even just the design. There's something about them moving on to this like hyper realistic look, which thankfully I think Glow you confirmed is just for that world only. So I don't even have to worry
the
about
world's
that.
supposed to be based
Like-
on
Yeah, so it's
the
like
whole
there's not
Final
really much
Fantasy thing.
Which they got
Quang
because
Dratum, so.
I don't like
Yeah.
that look. I don't like this hyper realistic look, honestly.
I'm with Nye on this one. They flattened my boy's hair. They ain't have to do that.
Yeah,
He
it's a
don't
different
look right.
hairstyle. It's
He
a real.
don't look right.
But
I don't-
it's just
It would
based
look
off of the
weird with
world
the-
he's
with the-
in.
Yeah, it would be weird if he had the Super Saiyan hair in a regular,
Pirates of the Caribbean world in not Final Fantasy in Kingdom Hearts 3 proved that they could make it work. Like this, I don't need it to
different,
look like
though.
Final Fantasy remastered, like 7 remastered all over again. I don't need it. Like I'm fine with Kingdom Hearts having that anime look. I still think that Kingdom Hearts 2, quite frankly, looks better than 3 in terms of like aesthetics. Like granted, animation and like how smooth it is. Yeah, obvious 3 outbeats it. But like the models in 2, I still think that's the best that they ever been. Like, and I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill.
Designs are too sleek. They're getting too sleek with it. I like
Exactly.
back in the day. I missed the poofy shoes. They gave them sneaks, which are dope, but he has an aesthetic, and they dropped that. That's kinda sad.
No, I mean, like we already said, it's confirmed because he's in Quadratum, so that's
Yeah, like
He's
this
that
world,
reason
this
why.
world is
Greatest
specifically
happiness,
supposed
like-
to be like we are putting
Realist.
Sora in Final Fantasy. This world is literally a Final Fantasy world. That's
Yeah.
why he looks like
He is still
He's
bitter.
straight out of,
he's
like-
still bitter.
yeah,
I
that.
hope you're right. That's all I can say.
There's no
Yeah.
hope. It was
Same,
confirmed by
same.
Nomura, so
Okay.
I'm very
I
glad.
mean-
I'm very glad because when I saw the trailer, my first thought was, I really hope it doesn't look like this for all of the game, because otherwise, I'm gonna be real, I might not even play it. Like
He said that's why he put like Donald and Goofy in at the end to show like, look guys, they're still going to have that. It's just for Quadratum. It looks hyper realistic and everything.
I don't
And
even
the only-
hate. I don't
the
even
only
hate
reason why
the
he's
hyper
doing
realism.
that. The only reason why he's doing that is because he got shafted for his,
I know we got a trailer.
Oh,
I just hope they don't get us waiting. That's all.
No, this is early
No.
development, so we not getting this game until like
you remember?
2025.
yeah, probably 2025 probably. Because this is all early development stuff. So.
Like,
Right.
Hobie, you remember like when they dropped the teaser trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3? Like decade? Like it
I
took a
know.
decade. Like,
yeah, but the thing
no
is,
hope.
looking at this trailer, like think back to that old trailer for KH3. That shit was just bland. It barely anything, and that little demo of him running around. It was like that was definitely
you were
pretty
dead
early.
as not saying that when you first saw that trailer. Let me even try it.
How do you even remember? Oh, I was excited. No, I was excited like everybody else. Nye, Glow. We were all
Yeah,
excited that
right,
they
you're right,
announced
you're
it.
right.
You're gonna say the
Wait,
same
wait,
thing
but-
a century
but-
from now. Like,
But they did also confirm that this last trailer was shot in Unreal Engine 4, but they're redoing everything in Unreal Engine 5.
Again?
So
Yeah,
Again?
because here's the thing. Because for this trailer, this Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, a lot of those animations are in Kingdom Hearts 3, like the real thing that's Kingdom Hearts 3. So it's like a lot of this is gonna get adapted into, like you said, Unreal Engine 5, because they're gonna use the engine that Final Fantasy 16 is running on. So
yeah,
it's gonna. That's why this is still early development stuff. So it's like that's why I'm like, don't even be like, just be happy. We just know it's coming eventually.
hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut you off right there.
Part of me
Like,
thinks we could have
Glo-
waited on this though a little longer. Kingdom
But it
Hearts
makes
I
sense
do- I
for
agree,
the
I
anniversary.
agree. Yo, me and T right now, like me and T are on the same page because,
for-
quite
for-
frankly, like I cannot be excited for this game. Like, see the teaser is like, oh, it's nice to know it's like it exists, but I already knew that. Like, it doesn't do anything for me because I'm like, what am I like? How am I gonna get excited for a game I know I'm not playing it anytime soon?
Did you play the mobile games and stuff?
Fuck no.
Oh, then see, I'm more as someone that
Yeah,
played Halo,
exactly.
I'm more excited.
I watched the
Right.
videos. I watched the videos.
But-
Look at me.
Yeah,
but
so it's
another
like,
reason why they released it so early, no more mention, was because I don't know if you guys knew, but I forgot which, but it was actually leaked that Kingdom Hearts 4 was being developed, along with a whole bunch of other games.
What
It
you
was
mean
like-
leak?
It was
New?
through like a computer component.
Yeah, it was like
Was
for
it
Nvidia
Intel?
or something.
Nvidia, yeah.
Yeah.
Nvidia like leaked a whole bunch of games
Yep.
that were, like in development, and they wanted to like get ahead of that, so they
yeah.
did this.
Oh man, they didn't have to do all that.
They
Yeah.
really did it. We already knew it was in development. Like this.
At this point, if you're into Kingdom Hearts, you're a diehard fan. You know that any time that this game drops, we're gonna be hyped. You don't
Oh,
have
hell
to
yeah.
rush it.
We'll be here. Like,
Yeah.
like it being leaked doesn't do anything. It's not gonna kill the hype or be like, oh man, it got leaked. Doesn't look the same. Like we'll still be here
Agreed.
20 years later. Like,
Right, but you know how PR is. It's like, hey, we want
Yeah.
to be the ones to.
It's one of those things
Put it
that
out
people
there.
are talking, if people are theory crafting about your thing, and then that can also cause kind of unrest. You know, so it's a weird thing when you're handling PR and stuff like that, and there's a leak. Because now it's like, because even if you never release an official statement about something, you're not kind of held up to any direct what's the word I'm you're not held up to any no direct responsibility or no direct expectations. But it's like when there's a leak out, now it's like they know you're working on something, and now people can kind of start poking and prodding, and you don't want those kind of, you don't want to like potentially create negative bubbles. So
Kingdom Hearts 4, we all knew they were still. Kingdom Hearts 3 was literally just a game setting up Kingdom Hearts 4. We all knew it was in development as is, honestly.
Oh no, yeah, of course,
Yeah,
but still, like
absolutely.
you have to remember too, like there's a lot of people in
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
there's a lot of and there's a lot of casual people in the world. you know?
Yeah.
It's
Most
like,
people saw that trailer were just like, who are these people?
Who are
What-
these
Yeah.
characters? Who is
Who are
this?
these characters?
Why is he here?
Which
Why
is
is he?
why
Yeah, like-
what's happening?
I
like,
demand that
the
they make
people
a
that-
movie.
yeah, like the people
make
that
a
didn't watch the videos on YouTubers for all the cutscenes or didn't play the mobile games don't know the characters that were there. The people that didn't do the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 or didn't beat it don't know what's going on. So it's like there's a lot of there's people that only played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. Those people are kind of confused too in general. So it's like, yeah, you always have to kind of cater towards
Don't
the.
buy the remixes. Get on the
The
level.
mobile game's not even all the remix. Like, I just want him to make a movie, preferably a game. But like, I know that's not possible. So just at least do like what's it called? Back cover.
Back cover. Yeah.
Just do back cover again for the mobile game, honestly. 'Cause
You know
quite
he ain't
frankly,
gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that.
I think
That was
Honestly,
all.
if you
once in a
take out all
lifetime
the
thing.
fluff, if you take out all the fluff for the mobile game, honestly, you have just enough content for a movie as is anyway. Maybe like a 2-part movie, but like just give me a movie, so that because like at this point, this is worse than Marvel. Like if you miss anything, you're just kind of lost and confused. You're looking at this chick like, who are you? Like,
I don't
See,
know.
but here's my opinion on that thing. Like, I don't think just because you don't know something, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, cause you'll get the answers eventually, you know?
oh no, you're not wrong. You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
like so I think people say confused too quickly. Like having an unknown doesn't make you confused per se, but I feel like everyone's like, oh man, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, you just don't have an answer yet. It's a story. You'll get the answer when the story
You're not
gets to
wrong
that
because
point.
I played Kingdom Hearts 2 first. I skipped over the first game and Chain of Memories and jumped straight into 2. And like, was I a little bit confused at first? Yeah. Did I figure it out? I absolutely did.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like-
let's be real. If you talk Kingdom Hearts, you talk confusion. It is.
Absolutely.
Let's just nail that in the head, all right? If you get into this series, you're gonna be confused, but you stay for the characters. You stay for the fun.
Yeah, that's what, I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I've never been confused playing Kingdom Hearts. Even as
Bro,
a kid, it's like
Look, Nye and High Top, no. Kingdom Hearts is a problem for me, all right? It's a problem
for
for
the
me.
fact that you were like, oh, no more confronted a tweet. Like, like you're stalking this man's page as is. Like,
Like, I
So if
I know
cut
all-
in for just a second,
sure.
you know, just having been a silent observer.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. This is what we do, but there's nothing wrong with the fact that Kingdom Hearts is confusing. It's been that way for years. And even the best, most storied, most involved fans. We have a mutual friend who we'll call Jay. And Jay has been a fan of Kingdom Hearts since it was a concept. Jay will always be down to describe the story and the lore of Kingdom Hearts. She knows who everybody is, but she will always preface those explanations with, "This is about to get confusing as fuck, but follow me on this." And I feel like that's just a general understanding that when you step into this fandom, it's just like, what's going on here? And then everybody's like, yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it.
You'll get it.
And that's fine.
It's like the
We'll get
favorite,
there
guys.
eventually
Like,
together.
pick it up, and some people pick it up, and some people don't pick it up. But I think that the general consensus is that welcome to Kingdom Hearts. We know you're confused at the front door. However long that lasts, this is completely up to you.
What you mean last? It never goes away. Like,
And you know what? Some fans are just like, you know what? I completely understand that I'm never gonna understand this, but I'm just here for the general vibe. And that's
that
fine.
journey's still a journey. It's almost like Kingdom Hearts has an ensemble cast going on, which it pretty much does. It's like, yes, Sora's the main character, but everyone has their, they got their journey they're going through, and that's where those side games come out that aren't the big,
God.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh dear.
It does. It does, because
You know what?
Whenever we get into everything, whenever you get into a Kingdom Hearts discussion, it's always like, okay, but who is your crew? Like, what perspective are you sharing?
Who you rep?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's low key like One Piece. Low key. It's low key like One Piece.
And
Hey.
like as soon as you enter the room and people are like, oh yeah, I like. Really, who's your favorite character? Oh, Noctis. I don't know.
Oh, wait.
Friends, like I don't know if we
Noctis.
Hold on, Noctis. Hey,
You played most of the
what?
games I
You
set
said
out. Like,
Noctis?
why? You're like, who's your favorite character? Roxas. Why? And then it's, but it,
Hey,
but
what
it's-
you mean? Why? Why'd you say it like that?
Girl, it was an example.
Okay.
She was
But
hurt.
you
She
got
said, hold
real
on.
hurt real
She
quick.
said, hold on, that's my guy. Wait. She said, hold on.
Wait, everybody has a JoJo. Everybody has some kind of reflection or shade of Sora because they're all Sora. I'm so sorry. You got blonde Sora. You got black, but not black Sora. Like not black Sora.
Yo.
Got evil Sora.
Yeah, you got evil Sora who's not the same as black Sora.
Got the nobody Sora.
You got Kirishima Sora.
The other
Don't fight
nobody
me.
Sora.
He's Kirishima Sora, and I'm sorry you had to find out this. Like just
Cut-
because he's a
cut her
little
mic.
charismatic doesn't change that shit.
Cut her mic.
So, bottom line, if you talk about Kingdom Hearts, you're going down a rabbit hole and you might get lost. But it's a good time following.
And that's part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah, I'm here for the whole thing. Like I was pleasantly surprised for that. All of that.
Yeah, for sure.
All of that.
Well,
You know what
Well-
it is One Piece because as soon as you decide like that's it, this is too much, they always come back with some heart of the card stuff, and you're like,
hard to compare it.
Okay.
The
Before-
card game, Kingdom Hearts.
oh no.
Before we move over to the discussion, because I get the feeling we're going to change topics, I just want to say I am sorry for anyone who dares to say that Curry's their favorite character. I'm so sorry that you don't know better. Like,
You'll be
like,
surprised how many people will jump you to rep Kyrie.
I am fine with that. I'm
If-
sorry you don't know better. Like,
If pressed, I could give you a 10 times. I will not.
Like,
And we're definitely gonna come back to a Kingdom Hearts discussion. Probably be the next podcast.
I'll bring my
probably.
binders, my notebooks, my
It's a
keynote,
lot.
bro.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
Keynote. Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'd
But,
slide for that one. I slide for that one.
But yeah, but you know, in 2 years, whenever we get another trailer, we'll talk about it.
2 years.
Oh yeah,
You're
wait,
hopeful,
quick
aren't
thing.
ya?
Y'all seen how Star Wars got confirmed low key, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars be a Jedi.
Well, we'll see. But has everyone here seen the Sonic 2 movie yet, or no?
No.
No.
Nah, I
Seeing
haven't
it
seen
this
it.
Wednesday. Seeing it this Wednesday.
I haven't seen it.
Working on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
You were
save that for
excited.
another topic.
Yeah.
Oh,
tuck
it was
that-
a good.
tuck
It
that
was a
one away,
good
buddy.
movie. It was a
Tuck
good
that one
movie.
away.
I'm like definitely want to talk about that at a later podcast. But anybody else have any like news or anything? Anything you want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, actually. So T and I got a chance to watch the first episode. Putting it.
Kinda cutting out.
Let me know if you can hear me.
We can hear
There
you.
we go.
Great. So T and I got a chance to catch the first episode of I'm Quitting Heroing, because you know that isekai have me in a chokehold, and it's fine.
I feel that.
My thing is, I as much as isekai have me in a choke, I'm getting real tired of when the show like looks good, feels good, and I'm like, I can't wait to see where this is going. And then we get introduced to our main plain-haired character with a sword. Because it's always gonna be a main plain-haired character with a sword. It's always gonna be just some dude with a sword. And then you find out that he's got that personality. You know,
You don't gotta say it like that.
heroes got it. Like
That personality.
every time. Can we get some more like slime incarnate? I would love.
The subversion is no longer a subversion,
It's not even
basically.
a subversion. It's just I don't want any more Kirito spin-offs. I want somebody who's genuinely excited to be there. Please. So without going into the episode too much, because I don't know, maybe there's someone somewhere who was looking forward. Still looking.
I was. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I already watched it. I already know exactly what you mean.
What did you think? Because, like,
Honestly, like, I know what you mean when you say like a show that looks good. Because, like, honestly, it's honestly my aesthetic. Like, I like the way it looks.
It had all
It
the right
has the
components.
vibe. It has the right components. I'm still gonna watch it, obviously. But like, I'm not gonna lie. The moment the main character started talking, I was thinking, "Oh, I've seen you already. I've seen you several places at this point."
And
Like,
then he pulled out the charts after. Okay, so spoilers. You know, cut to
oh no.
cut to a different timestamp to avoid spoilers for this ridiculously mediocre show. But this man decimates the Demon Lord's army and then comes to apply for a job in the Demon Lord's.
It's a flex.
He does not apologize for killing any of the Demon Lord's army. He submits a PowerPoint presentation with charts and data analysis on how he wiped the floor with the Demon Lord's army, and that is why the Demon Lord's army needs him. And rightfully so. The Demon Lord was like, I will give you -2 seconds to get the fuck out of my. And rightfully so. But what absolutely put a twitch in my eye was that the generals, the demon generals, that fought this man, they were like, no, let's hear him out. I'm like, are you kidding?
No, look. I'm gonna be real. I haven't watched.
All of y'all can go.
I haven't
y'all
watched
can get out of my house.
Talk about how he
Look.
beat them.
Look, I haven't watched this show.
Ew.
But out of context, you're basically saying some dude came, clapped a whole bunch of them, gave a presentation on why he should be running the show. And y'all not going to think a couple of them might be like, look, man, let's at least let him get to the end of the slide.
Yeah, like what I'm hearing is that makes sense. If I was in the Davis, if dude just came, clapped us up, right, easily, and then said, listen, guys, I can tell you, he's pretty much a gray hat hacker at this point.
Word, I
He's
mean, like, he could be
okay.
a consultant
You know what?
at
Here's the
least.
thing, though.
I'm
Here's
so
the thing. He's
sorry.
an asshole about it. He's a
I-
jerk. Like,
It's not even that he's an asshole about it. There's no nice way to say your dead cousins are in my presentation. And I'm so pleased
Oh,
that enough of you can look past the corpses of your fallen friends to recognize that, ayo, my sword skills are pretty on.
he didn't kill the May peeps, though. He didn't kill the May peeps. The ones that
Because here's my thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
My thing is, who gonna check him? I ain't gonna check him. So
Apparently, that's the problem. No. You know what checked
Look.
him? You want to know what checked him?
Yeah.
You want to know what checked him? Society checked him.
Honestly,
That's
she's
what
not even
checked.
wrong. Like,
Society checked him. He came to join the Demon Lord's army because without Nakama, what are we?
okay, hold on.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Let me
Like,
talk
as
about
the
what
demons
ticked me
people,
off.
though. As the demons people, I can't stop them. So I'm gonna be like, whatever you got to say, big dog.
I would be like, let's hear him out.
Say what you
Let's
need
hear
to
him
say.
out.
Even get to that.
said it,
Before we even
and
get
she
to
put
that.
it out.
Before we even get to that, like, you skipped over the reason why, because, like, after he claps all of them, he's like, okay, I did my due diligence, I did my job, I'm gonna go back to, like, the kingdom and tell them the good news. The thing that, like, put me in, like, a mood, because, like, he goes back to the kingdom, and they're all scared of him. They're all
They're
terrified
not
of
just
him.
scared of him. They're angry with him, and rightfully so. He
No,
literally,
not
he
the demon
literally
lord, not the
fought.
demon lord, the kingdom, like the
Yes.
group he was with before.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am well aware of the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, they are angry with him, and I would be too if the hero who's supposed to save our world took one look at our fairy tale guild, our really super nice building, and said, "Yep, that's a great place for a fight." Goku had it right. Go fight in an empty area,
He's fucking the club.
Yeah.
not in the
He rolled
orphanage.
up in the club. One of the demon generals attacked them in the guild.
And actually, I
Instead of
forgot about
leading the guy
that.
out. He's like, okay, I'll nuke the entire
Which
building.
he could have
I'll take him
done.
out.
Which
I
he
remember
easily
that.
could have done.
All right,
He
hear me
does
out.
do that.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Hear me out. All right.
Every time, Glow, I don't care how stupid it was. Every time I hear you say "hear me out," I know it's about to be some bullshit. But go ahead.
Hear
Before
me
you
out,
even
all
start
right?
that, Glove, before you even start that,
I
Go
though,
don't get
ahead.
a lot of Bakas in this episode.
if you meet a character who like takes out the demon lord, like nukes a whole orphanage, and then he goes back to his kingdom, and the kingdom decides, oh, because we're scared of him and who knows what he might do, let's kick him out and make him homeless. Surely
And
he won't
leave.
retaliate.
because apparently the greatest plight, whether you are in America or in feudal, not Japan, is homelessness and loneliness. That's what took down the great hero. You didn't need a weapon. You didn't need a super. You just
Here-
need to make him feel real bad.
And made that man
Hear me
homeless, and I'm
out.
like, y'all really think he ain't
It's
gonna turn
lonely
around
at the
and kill
top,
y'all?
bro. It's
That-
lonely at the
look.
top.
Look, hear me out. All right. All I'm hearing is there's a lot of people who could have gone about this a little bit better. All right, because homeboy, him nuking the orphanage or whatever he did, that's on him. I ain't gonna lie. The demon lord kicking him out, I'm sorry, but that's an L for me. I'm like, look, we gotta at least hear this dude out, okay? Like, I would have been waiting to hear how he clapped this, right? But the people
what you
who,
mean?
but the people who like sort of made him homeless and whatnot, I'm like, y'all really want to do that to a dude who decimated
I
the
would have
demon
been the
lord's
advisor
army?
on the side, like,
I would have
sir,
went with him.
sir, I assure you, like, if we kick him out, we are more likely to die now.
I would have allocated funds to give him a
I
neighborhood.
would have just left with him.
You said you would have left with him? You said
Yep.
you would have traveled?
I
in his
would have,
party?
I
Because-
would have, honestly. I'm
I-
safer with him than anyone else.
Oh, no. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you would have traveled. Let's talk about that. Because they definitely addressed that in the first episode.
Nah.
Oh, yeah, he abandoned them
You
because
want
they're
to
too
know
weak.
what happened to his
He
party? He
Nah.
abandoned them at level 1, bro.
They were
Nah.
too weak.
He's like the swordsman can't do magic. The mage can't handle a sword. What good are you?
The
I can do
archer can't
both.
be close quarter
Yeah,
fighter.
why can't the archer go full King and Ashura?
Yo,
I can
yo.
do all of that.
See, a guy like me would have been grinding. Sound like people that ain't grinding, bro. I don't know. Couldn't be me though.
The way he takes
Couldn't
out,
be me.
the way he takes out one of the highest mages is that like the moment she starts doing all her high casting, he just creates a field where she can't do magic, and he's like, "Oh, you can't fight no more." And she's like, "Who does that?"
He wasn't ready for the debuffs?
That's
Come
the
on,
thing.
man. You gotta be ready
Wait, he
for that.
debuffed his own squad, or like who he
As
was
a test.
fighting?
It was a
Who
test.
he was fighting? He was fighting the demon lord's like mage, and like literally she goes like after he like basically makes the field that they like a field where you can't use magic. She's like, "Who the hell does that? Like, who does that?"
I'm just like that. That's just straight up that, right? You show me one Final Fantasy game where that shit is.
See,
This guy sounds like the boy. I don't know. He sounds. He sounds like I would have played the same way. I would have.
I'm not telling you,
Please
man.
do not get
Okay.
I would've-
Kirito 3.0.
Okay, he is not Kirito. Let's be very clear about that.
Kirito sucks.
He
Man,
has a
I-
lot more
I-
personality.
I'm not. Wait a minute. What did you just say?
Okay,
He
let's
has a
change the
lot more-
subject. Let's change the subject.
He has a
Hold
lot
up,
more personality
hold
in one episode.
This-
In one episode, you've gleaned this.
Kirito. He's an asshole. He's an asshole.
can't even-
Assholes
You
usually
can't
have a
even read
personality.
the room enough.
Yeah, but they haven't even gotten to why this guy really is an asshole. Check this. The whole reason why your boy wants to roll up to the army that he already waxed is because when, like Nye said, he goes back to the kingdom and they're not praising him, they're scared of him because you did your job way too well. You're too freaking dangerous. You can't hang with us. We're gonna send some assassins after you. You need to go. Get out of here. Go.
They're gonna send what?
They sent the assassins after. They sent the assassins after him.
Man, that
And
kingdom's
mostly-
sorry, yo. That kingdom's
Trash,
sorry.
trash kingdom.
Like, they did-
Trash
They
kingdom.
did it
Trash
mostly
kingdom.
to annoy him, right? Like,
To annoy him, damn right.
Yeah,
I'm not even doing
They
that.
were trying to kill him. They were actually trying to kill him, and he's like, "Guys, I beat the demon." He literally goes like, "Guys, I beat the
you
demon
know
lord."
the king knows. The
Yeah.
king knows that shit wasn't going to happen, but the king did it to make a point. Sometimes you have to make a point.
Yes.
I don't think that's why he did it.
Sometimes you gotta throw water balloons, huh?
Yeah, man, but like he's beaten any assassin they sent after him. He's pretty much just exiled himself, and he is just a drifter now. But instead of like, I don't know, becoming a vigilante, going to start a farm, making your own village or whatever, he's like, you know what? This sucks. I'm gonna burn the entire world.
Yeah, nobody's
And I know-
praised.
Yeah,
Yo, real
no one's
talk. I
breaking
fuck with the logic. I fuck with the logic. I get it. Like,
Hold on now.
You fuck with the
Hold
logic
on.
if nobody's praising you. So
Hold on.
with the
He
logic.
does sound like a sociopath.
Yo, that's
Nah,
what
but
I'm
think
saying.
about it, think about it like
Trying to
this.
tell you.
If you literally defeated the calamity that's gonna destroy the world, and no one says, "Hey, bro, good job, man." Not even that. I feel like too. What's up?
I'll get it. I'll get
Good
it. Like,
job. Now please leave. Nobody likes you, my guy.
Yeah.
I assure you,
Like,
if
that'd be
I
crazy.
literally
Nah,
saved
bro.
everyone's life, if I saved everyone's life and then I'm punished, I
Yeah,
assure you,
nah.
I'm gonna be
Wait,
mad.
Whoa.
Were you a dick?
He
Were
wasn't
you a dick though?
punished.
Were you a dick
I
though?
circled the block. I
Were
circled
you a
the
dick
block.
though?
You can't chill in this kingdom.
They said
You
leave.
need to
He
go.
said he said no. They sent assassins. He's like, fine, I get the point. I'm
Mhm.
going.
But the thing is, this guy is like overlord type levels of strength.
Don't
no one,
you ever.
No one.
Hey.
My point is, the dude
His
is
overlord
like
type
Goku.
strength.
He's like freaking Goku going to the Pokemon universe. No one can step to you at
Hey,
all,
come on, man.
anywhere. Okay.
High
So,
Top, don't forgive him.
so the whole point is like, no one can step to you. No one can hurt you. Why are you so pissed? Instead of burning the world, do something else, dude.
Why would I do that when the world
What?
shunned me? Like, no.
Yeah,
He
like,
can't,
what?
he can't do anything else because he's
Yeah,
not
what
a
is
interesting
there?
guy.
Yeah, if there's
Hey,
nothing
there.
else to do, you might as well become, the new.
Because
What do you mean
his
there's
whole
calamity.
I
job
love
was
people.
his whole thing was killing the demon lord, and you're supposed to become a hero and
Are
be
you
lauded
kidding?
and get rewarded.
Any-
I didn't get any of that. I'm circling the
any
block. I'm coming back.
Exactly. Like, okay,
Literally,
okay.
circling the
any
block.
other
Pause,
show
pause.
covers this.
Call
Yeah,
it the sociopath in me, but I really get his logic with that. Because, like, if I legit
know
saved
you.
everyone's life and then I'm like punished, and it is punishment, like, you basically took my home, I'm gonna look at you like, oh, so that's how it is. All right, I
Mhm.
see you. Like,
It's kind of hard for me to feel bad for the guy when he's got all that type of. We've all seen stories where the OP character just automatically walks somewhere and ends up with a harem. We've seen an OP character go off.
we didn't see that with him.
And the adventure follows him.
assuming
Like,
that. We're just assuming that for him. Nah, I'm
Yeah,
with him,
a-
honestly.
any guy, any person has their struggles. They can be rich or whatever. They still got heart pains, man.
So,
You feel me?
So
you feel
it
me?
sounds-
okay,
so after
Everybody's hearts can
Whoa,
hurt,
now-
man.
now hold on.
so
I don't have issue with the fact that this man may have heart pains, and I appreciate that you're trying to get to a large. So I'll keep it brief. But this man is not only like he having heart pains is the one and only struggle that you're showing me, and you have no room to grow. I'm considerably less interested in episode 2. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's only been one episode. So it's one episode.
Okay.
Like that, like I'm getting very quickly fatigued with these shows who will put redo of a healer type protagonist.
Yo, he ain't no
Aren't you
redo of a
rooting
hero.
for him?
Chill.
Talking about burning the world, Nye.
Yeah,
It's kind of redo of
just
the heroes.
just
Nah,
because
it's
they're
not the
covering
same.
it,
Nah,
Nah,
he's not
it's
like
not the
that.
same. Redo
Yeah,
of Healer
that's
had a
not the
whole
same.
covering
other.
it with less R stuff does
Yeah.
not mean
Nah, it's
that
not the
this
same.
man
Nah,
is
it's not the
somebody
same.
worse.
It's
He's
not
not
the same.
nearly as vindictive. Because if he was that vindictive, he would have destroyed the kingdom immediately.
Exactly.
He wants to roll in with a crew. That's why.
He would have tortured them right there and be like, "Oh, word."
Yeah.
He's
We're
not-
What,
getting
you mean
there.
like he tortured the demon army? What?
He didn't even torture them. I think
Like
you're
the first
villainizing this
episode
boy.
seems like
Dude.
it's
You're
beating up the
villainizing him.
enemy.
If anything,
what I'm saying,
you
like,
guys got me really ready to watch this.
I'm gonna read it. I found out there's a manga. I'm finna read this manga.
All
Wait,
right.
I absolutely
Let's
want you to
change the
watch this. I would
Top,
not
let's
have
change
brought
the
it up.
topic.
wait, what's
Let's
the
see.
name?
well, it sounds like it's gonna be like another podcast based off of this. Maybe we'll do it like after watching the whole show. We'll all watch the show and we'll talk about it.
Based off
But-
what y'all told me, I'm on his side though. I'm just like,
That's fine too. You're villainizing him. You're just villainizing him.
based off what y'all said, yo, give him the
Yeah.
mic. He's spitting. Hold on, like, turn him up.
All right. Well, moving on to the topic of tonight. We are at the beginning of this episode, we're gonna be talking about Pokemon, and so pretty much we're gonna be talking about everything Pokemon video game wise. We're not gonna be touching the anime. I don't even think a lot of us even watched the anime at all, or really watched up to the Aloha region, wherever they are now. So this is just strictly video games. So starting off this topic, what Pokemon games have you guys played? Have you played them all? Have you guys stopped at a certain point? Like, I feel like we all pretty much like played X and Y, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hesitantly, yes.
I played every Pokemon game.
Damn, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. That's why I got a lot of strong opinions, man. Got a lot of opinions.
Well, I guess like to start us off, like what do you guys like? What got you into like playing these Pokemon games? I feel like it's obvious, but maybe we could go down the line.
Peer
Oh,
pressure.
man, it was cool to have a Game Boy.
Yeah, peer pressure.
Like it was
The peer pressure.
I want to set the scene. It's mid-90s. You walk into school. All of a sudden, one person pokes their head up, looks over the crowd, and says, "Hey, they ain't got a Game Boy." You try again. You walk in, like, "Oh, you don't got a Game Boy." They see it's right here in my pocket. They see the outline, and they're like, "Take it out." And you're like, "What?"
Hey yo.
Calculator
Take it
as.
out. You take it out. Hey, was that a Game Boy Pocket? It's not even a color. What? Peer pressure.
Hey yo.
Crazy.
Is your childhood okay? Like damn.
We've all-
Damn. I mean, I think for me, I know like I got introduced to it by my aunt, because mainly I don't understand how you have these adults that have these video games, but they never play. They just have it. Like for some reason, my aunt had the blue version, Pokemon Blue. I think it was called that, and like she had it, and I was like the whole time it was fun. I enjoyed the game with the Game Boy, but the whole time, like thinking about it now, I'm like, why does she even have this game if she never even played it?
What a weird thing to ask when you're also an adult now who has a backlog of games because you simply have no time to play it.
Damn.
I have reasons. Damn, nice.
That hit pretty close. That hit pretty close.
Unintentional too.
Mm.
But no, my
This is basically the same. Like
Jesus fucking Christ.
Right.
But
My bad.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is hitting below the belt, but my whole introduction was through Blue, and then I didn't actually follow it in order. Like I did, I think if I'm going to my memory banks, I played Blue version, I played Yellow version a little bit. I never finished those, but I did finish like the future games like Black and White 2 and X and Y, and then of course Sword and Shield. But that was pretty much it. Like I was really spotty with the games.
Yeah. Like my first like legit Pokemon game that I played for hours, I'm talking hours upon hours, caught every Pokemon, did every inch of that map, was Pokemon Crystal, actually. Because I did play like Yellow and whatnot, but I never finished it. But I actually got Crystal, and when I say I beat the hell out of it, I beat the hell out of that game. Like it was really bad, to the point where I have memories of like little relatives coming over, and I let my Game Boy out of my sight for like a second. I come back, I turn that game on, and I'm back in the starting town with nothing, and I'm like, oh, y'all started a new game and you saved.
Oh no.
oh,
So I had to
become a whole
start
villain.
over. I had to start over and everything, and it really didn't. It's like little me didn't mind. All right, I did mind. I wanted to kill them, but
Absolutely.
but
Surprised you didn't.
yeah, but going through that adventure all over again, like Crystal is so embedded in my mind, and it was because of that sort of love for that game that I gave every other game after that a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it was I have two older cousins. One's 6 years older, one's 4 years older. And once video games started kind of circling between us, once I became a cognitive age, when I wasn't just baby brain, I would have to play the games that they had. So those two cousins had blue and red respectively, right? So I was the looking over their shoulder watching them play Pokemon because they wouldn't let me play because I was, you know, the little cousin or whatever. But then for one of the Christmas, I think when one of them got yellow, the older cousin ended up getting yellow for like a birthday or something. He let me use his red version. So that was the first time I got to play that. So if he wasn't using his Game Boy Color, I could play on his. And then when Johto came out, they got silver and gold, and my mom got me crystal.
Oh.
So that I could play my own game. I didn't have to always borrow theirs because they got annoyed with me saying, "Can I play? Can I play now? Can I play?" You know, older cousins like, "Nah, back up, mush me away." You know? So like, and then from then on, whenever like the games would come out, you know, I had my yearly birthdays around. Ma, can I get a game? I've been good, please, please, mother. So you know, like, Game Boy Advance comes out, a whole one comes out. I got Ruby, and then I was able to get Emerald, and then after that, I was just like every year whenever the Pokemon games came out, I would try to get one, if not both. Like, you know,
Oh, you bought
until I got when I started having like some form of money, you know, grandparents start eventually giving an allowance here and there, and I could like save up to have my own because I would usually get one of the games would be gifted by an adult, you know, figure, and then I would try to buy the other one, or I'd convince another adult figure to buy the other one for me, so I could have both myself.
Yeah.
Because after a while, my sister, she wasn't playing Pokemon games. She's like, I don't want to play that. Back up, and I was like, oh well. And my cousins kind of stopped. So it was, but yeah. After that point, I played them all in order. Whenever they would come out, I would try my hardest to get at least one of them. And then once I was of age where I was buying my own stuff, I would just buy all the games. I didn't stop buying all the games until like when Sun and Moon came out. I only bought Moon. Ultra Sun and Moon came out, I only bought Ultra Moon. And then Sword and Shield, I bought Sword.
Yeah.
And that was when like, but the love of the game started faltering after X and Y. That was when I realized.
Hold on.
And that's a while.
I apologize because while we did talk about, you know, peer pressure to actually have handheld console getting adjacent to Pokemon, my first game was definitely Red and Blue. The first game that I finished was Yellow because I have very vivid memories of that Pikachu.
The surfing joint.
Encouraging me to do my best and kill everyone in my path.
Yeah, I feel that.
What was really interesting, or what's really significant for T and me, is that I played every Pokemon, you know, every time a new one was released. T, you dropped off after which one?
I dropped off absolutely early in the game. I played everything up to Gold, and then didn't come back until Black and White.
Yeah.
And I played those, Black and White 2, and then X and Y, and then skipped everything up to that.
Kind of changed everything because, you know, I don't think that T finished Black and White. I think that T tried again with Black and White 2, but just couldn't get into it.
No.
But it wasn't until X and Y was released that we played this game together, and we played it into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that was the one, just like you said, where we bought both. I had X, she had Y, and we were playing it in tandem.
No, you got that all messed because I would never let you have.
Oh yeah.
No.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, that's crazy. Stop
crazy.
playing. No, stop playing.
I ain't
Stop
care.
playing.
I just said.
If that was not.
That's crazy.
You know what?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
You know what? Like real quick. Like I know I'm probably like jumping the gun, but why is it that X and Y is like that sweet spot for a lot of us? Because I'll admit too, because I even remember the day that like it came out. This is like Bloomfield College, and like before I came to class, like we're doing like art in New York. Here King class, I picked up the game. I had my 3DS. I'm on the bus. I'm just playing it. I'm just like, dang, I got a Lotad, yo. Why does Lotad look so good? And then we're all in class pretty much just playing this game while the professor is doing whatever the hell she was doing. And we're all just enjoying this game. Even we went to the computer lounge, we were just enjoying this. And I'm like, like this is such a good, fun game, and it's like, why is this so good? I don't know. Like maybe that was like
I know
that.
what it is for me. I know what it is for me.
It
The
was the first,
customization.
it was the first game in 3D. Let's start there.
That too.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of reasons. Yeah, like I think X and Y was the last time there was actual effort put in a Pokemon game.
Ayo.
Mhm.
Aside from Legends Arceus.
I mean,
He's not wrong. He's
Yeah,
not
Turn his
wrong.
mic up. Turn his mic up.
I was about to say,
That's why that was the last Pokemon game that had heart. That's why, like afterwards, it's like, oh, these games kind of trash, and it's
Wait.
like, no, go ahead.
Did Soul Silver come out after or before X and Y?
Before.
Okay, cool.
Or-
Continue. Continue. I agree with your points then.
yeah, you know what, Nine? That was a very good point, and I'm glad you did that. But I promise.
Oh yeah, no. Soul Silver and Heart Gold were great, amazing
Yes.
games. Those are
Mhm.
great remakes.
Absolutely.
Shout out to
Great
them.
remakes. Those are fantastic remakes because they chose a great region to remake as well.
Listen,
But that's why they failed when they remade Hoenn.
correct.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire sucked. It was
Pokemon
terrible.
Go
No
gets
heart.
all the credit.
Trash games.
Pokemon Go gets all the credit for getting people out of the house. Heart Gold and Soul Silver with that Pokewalker got
Yo,
people
oh
moving.
my
Heart
Moving.
Gold and Soul Silver was great. But yeah, I
Johto's
think
low-key the best region. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I won't say best. It's three. It's top three.
That
I'll
in
give
and
you
hope
top
no one
three.
would notice.
It's for sure top three. It's probably second, to be honest. For me at least, it's probably second place.
Which region?
mhm.
Johto.
Oh,
Johto's probably second place. It's probably second place for me.
As long as Kanto isn't number.
No. Kanto's like
Kanto's alright.
it's alright. It's cool.
Damn.
Turn the man's mic up. Yes.
After being introduced to all these other regions, Kanto's alright.
Kanto's cool. Like, I get it. Like Kanto, you know what I'm saying? It's the OG Joe, you know what I'm saying? It has some of the cooler legendaries, I'll say that, but like Mewtwo is goated. Like it's hard to beat Mewtwo, but outside of that, like the other regions, they have so much more to offer beyond just but I mean I feel like that's natural as progression goes, you know,
Yeah,
things kind of
exactly.
evolve, you know. So it's like, but it's a great springboard. Kanto is like, it's not bad. You can never call Kanto bad, you know.
To follow up also on what made X and Y really stand out in terms of the other games, I think it's like how you guys said and what I said. Yes, but the fact that you could customize it to make it look like your likeness and the story revolved around you as the journey goes on, and you get messed up in all this lore and stuff like that was going on with it. I think the fact that it's around your personal journey more so than the others, since it was your character, that's kind of what got you to. And let's not forget, Mega Evolutions were dope.
Mega Evolution.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mega
I love
Evolution
those so much.
Incredible.
As a person that did competitive battling, megas were hit or miss for me, but I have a different perspective, so
Yeah, I was never competitive. Never did competitive. So like,
No.
I was
Yeah,
impacted
that's why
by
I was like,
that.
megas were dope, but it's like some of them, hey man, back up. Hey, slow your roll, buddy.
But then at that point, it just became like seeing who got the Mega Evolutions was kind of like why for sports.
This is true.
Yeah.
Because when your fave got a Mega, and your bestie's fave did not.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Mm.
And then when Charizard got another one,
You know the
Yo.
vibes.
Charizard's a favorite. Like
no.
the golden child of the
Yeah,
family.
my boy Lizardon. Yeah, I did my man.
Listen.
John, turn his mic back down.
Hey, come on, bro. You can't hate on Lizardon, man. That's my boy.
What?
Right. He doing his thing. Let him rock. He doing his
He
thing.
rocking. He rocking.
Yeah.
And
He
also,
ain't my
I think,
10th favorite Pokemon, but he chilling, bro. He chilling.
but also, I think also like X and Y was like really good because they made it easy for anybody to enter that competitive scene. Because in the past games, it was like, you know, EVs and stuff. When I heard about it and like, oh, you have to use special items and how you have to hatch them this. So I was like, I ain't have time for that. But then X and Y came out and they're like, oh, you could just you could put them in these little gems. You could play these little mini games to raise their EVs up. And I was like, oh, I was way more invested in being competitive, and I found it enjoyable, you know, for the first time ever.
I
They
saw
definitely
Pause,
lowered
pause,
the
and
pause,
floor.
Ivy's ruin
I got a
a
question.
friendship
Well,
in
well,
my
hold
life.
on, hold
So,
on.
go ahead.
Because Hot
Pause.
Top, you hit on something like super important about the accessibility of some of those parts of the game. Because I think that, a lot of Pokemon games really don't get enough credit for that. They understood that their audience was growing and changing, and they understood that at some level there was something for everybody in each game. But when your core base is kind of finally the majority of your core base has aged in to an understanding of EVs and if they weren't already looking for those things, how do you help them understand that there are dimensions to this game that they may not have been exploring if they had playing competitive? And I think that X and Y really handled that well, like taking all the cute little mini games and taking the things that we take as extra and really finding ways to. By the way, you can level your Pokemon differently. Like that's one of the things that Ruby and Sapphire for me really did well in terms of competitions and kind of expanding that. You don't just have to throw your Pokemon at another Pokemon. They can dance battle a little bit, wear like a skirt, like have a good old time, and you can still win that way. Like that, that set me up, and it really kind of opened my point of view in terms of what it really meant to be good at something in the Pokemon, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I agree with that because, like, when I think about it, I was never into the whole Ivy and like shiny thing that much. But like with X and Y, maybe it was the accessibility because I remember that was definitely the game that I actually started paying attention. Like I remember I was breeding like,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
it was no one's business. Like I remember, like I looked for a shiny so hard. I was like, I'm gonna have the perfect Umbreon. It's gonna be a shiny Umbreon with the perfect IV stats. And I went in honestly. I care too much about that crap.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I feel you.
When
Yeah, I
usually
was
I
never
don't.
I was never a
Like
breeder.
I just
Um,
wanted a shiny Umbreon so badly,
When
man. So badly.
you finally got that Wonder Trade right, and you got a Japanese Ditto.
Oh, the Wonder Trades were
There's
amazing. I
no
love the
feeling.
Wonder
There's
Trades.
no feeling like getting something truly special and fantastic, like getting a German shiny out of nowhere for a Pokemon that you didn't even clock. All of a sudden, that Pokemon is your best homie.
Yo, I
You don't even
remember
care about Loudred like that, but now German Loudred,
oh no.
German Loudred is the homie. He's getting all the candy,
trade. I would do
all the
Wonder Trades
special
so often.
See, X and Y was my first game. I became a shiny hunter. I was legit a shiny hunter.
Exactly.
I had like 6 boxes of shinies. I had a whole set.
Hey, only for the
Bro.
Pokemons I liked.
Bro,
Only
I
for the
had
Pokemon I
I had a
liked.
separate Instagram just for shiny trading with people. Like, I was in there, bro. Like bro,
You
my
were in
collection
deep.
goes crazy. Like you don't
In
understand. I
deep,
was out
yo.
here, bro. I was
You were
really peddling Pokemon. I was like, yo,
Right over
I
here.
got 3. I
Okay.
got
So like,
Okay, can I be real? Can I be real? I felt so bad because like whenever I did the Wonder Trades, like I will basically just Wonder Trade like the fucking boxes full of EVs the failed EVs. Yes, they're just the failed EVs for me.
What do you mean? That's
Nah, that's fine.
That's what it was made for,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You
what it
just
was
put
made
that
for.
out in the world.
And
Yeah.
not to mention, you don't know who's getting those. Like
Yeah.
what I really thought was super special was again, Pokemon knows their audience. People of all ages are playing this. You don't know if some kid who's just like, I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah,
me and
little
my
Timmy.
Bluetooth." Yep, and all of a sudden, mom finally decides to let him play the internet. And what does he get? An Eevee.
Wowie! Hey, Mom, look, I got an Eevee.
Here's the thing that
Mom's like,
confused me.
that EV trash.
Here's the thing that confused me though, is that sometimes whenever I did Wonder Trades for these like crappy ass EVs, I would get shinies or legendaries, and I'm like, yo, y'all
Exactly.
good? Y'all
No,
good?
People
somebody that
putting
was
good
one of
vibes
those
out
people,
there. Yeah.
as one of those people that had a bunch of Pokemon that were like maxed out or shiny or whatever, we were the people that were giving out freebies like that. So you're 100% fine. No guilt, no guilt. We were the ones being like, hey man, I got like 7 of these shinies because I was hunting for this other joint. Let me just throw this out there for the people out there. Hopefully someone gets it that can use it better than me. Like, so if you got something spicy from there, or it was another on the other side of that, for for competitive, if you didn't have a breeder friend, I eventually ended up getting a friend that was like would breed for me and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Once the games hit like DS level, even before then Loki, but really once the games hit DS, we were creating our competitive Pokemon, to be honest, bro. I'm gonna be real with you, man. You know, boot up Pokesalve, make them real quick. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
God! Oh
You know
God!
what I'm saying? 'Cause we don't got time for all that, bro. We know the method, but
Y'all
it's
were in
like,
the back alley, yo. Oh
why
my
am I
God!
wasting all that time, bro?
Gotta deal
I'm
with
not. We don't got time for all that. I need my team right now. Like tournaments this weekend. No siree, Bob. Like so.
Exactly why I stayed away. No.
Yeah, so it's like, so after a while, it's like, all right, cool, you know. But you do get those breeder friends, and yeah, and like I said, I was a shiny trader, so like there were points where I had a bunch of a shiny that I didn't want because you know I ended up not hitting the rates I wanted, and I'd be like, you know what? Hopefully, a little Timmy or whoever needs this more than me gets this one, because
Little die. We're like, oh.
Little Nye out there.
I think that's the
Yeah.
cool thing about X and Y's generation because it catered to all those audiences. The competitive ones, the ones that were there that just wanted to feed their Pokemon pie, the other ones who were just there for the story. It had all that. And Megas. It just was the
Yeah.
perfect package.
Was
of
X
Pokemon.
and Y the one where you could give where you could spend time with your Pokemon, like you'll pet them and give them berries?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
I love that. I was very much into that. I was like, little Eevee here, the golden child, You're gonna be the perfect Umbreon.
Like, I
You
did
had
really
your other
expect-
Pokemon plotting on your Eevee.
Yeah. Rest of the team just starving, hasn't eaten in weeks.
Oh, no.
Eevee real weird.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I gave attention to
Get outta here.
Cyndaquil as well. Cyndaquil
Look
was
at that,
also
look
the
at
golden
that.
child.
Look at that, bro.
Mhm.
Those other Pokemon are starving.
Plotting, yo.
Dying, yup.
How am I
Give
gonna
me some
drown this
puffins.
Eevee? Yo?
Gotta get this Eevee up out of there.
I will be perfectly honest. Once I got my team of like favorite Pokemon, like my team of 6 of like I never changed it. They were like, you guys are the golden child. You stay where you are. They could die in the boxes for all I care. I just, so long as
Yeah,
I have
alright.
you guys.
Yeah, right. There's that one Pokemon. I was like, damn, that's that third HM she gave me, man. Damn.
But that's the thing, man. Like X and Y just had some mechanic that everybody could latch onto and just roll with.
You had to be
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think they
Absolutely.
kind
I
of
love
lost
it.
that with the subsequent games.
Yeah,
Ours
it's-
brought it back a little bit, but nothing beats X and Y for me.
Like,
Yeah,
I
because
think,
sorry.
oh no, go ahead. You
No, I was just gonna say, like, right after X and Y, like, it's like they kind of sort of tried to stay afloat, like, you know, kind of get taken off of that X and Y success, and you know, like, I think like after that one, Omega Ruby and Sapphire came out after X and Y, and that didn't really do very well because you know they were ass.
That
Oh,
was
man.
so
Because I
trash.
actually like
So-
Hoenn a lot. I like
hold on.
that. I like that.
Oh,
team.
Hoenn's a solid region.
Yeah.
Hoenn, so if I can paint a picture, you know, we talked a lot about you know, how kind of significant that gold, silver, crystal generation was, right?
Mhm.
You know, and then but the fact of the matter is those games were still kind of not in Ruby and Sapphire. I don't care who, when you turned on the SP backlight and that intro was in the highest definition color, your little
You give me chills right now.
it to this day, the opening for the original Ruby and Sapphire, just watching that still takes me back every single. When I tell you, when I heard that they were redoing it, I was pumped. I was like, they're gonna give me the same thing. They just came off X and Y.
How strong was that disappointment?
They understand. Nye, it
Disappointment.
was the first time.
Beyond
It
that.
was the first time when someone turned to me and said, "Hey, are you gonna cop the?" I got it later, but when it first came out, I was like, "No, you will not have."
I'll be absolutely real with
Even
you.
with that Rorschach, no.
Like, because Crystal, right? How important Crystal was to me and everything like that. It also set up a whole bunch of other feelings that we'll get into. I feel because I know that High Top has more things we want to talk about. But what I'm trying to say is like when Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, right? When that generation came out, when I tell you I put in crazy hours in that game as well, and
Yeah.
like I cannot describe the feeling of running into Latios or Latias
Yes!
in the grass and freaking the hell out, yo.
God.
And like
Oh my
snapping your
God.
SD shut because you're like, man, if I mess this up,
Ooh, right?
Oh my
Like
God.
I
Oh,
was
that was such a
running around
nostalgic
with a
hit.
Wobbuffet, yo. Like that's
Oh my
how
God, that
crazy
was
it
such a
was.
nostalgic
Yeah.
hit. Oh my God.
and
Like
you know what? You know
like-
what hurt even more? And Nye, I know you get this. You know what hurt even more was that I truly believe there was no way they would mess this up because look at what Heart Gold and Soul.
Oh my God, Soul Silver was so great. Soul Silver was so great, man.
When that radio came back, there were kids who've never even seen a radio who were like, I'm listening to my Game Boy. And yes, it's just the comparison in quality between that and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I was heartbroken.
yeah, I don't even count
listen,
those, to be honest.
Like as a kid, Emerald was so big for me. Emerald was the first game that started me actually catching the entire Pokédex. Like
Right.
Emerald was the first time that I was like, nah, I'm catching all these
Yeah,
guys.
it's Crystal for me.
Because in Crystal, I didn't catch everything. Crystal, I was still very much I want all the Pokemon I think are cool.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll get those. I made them as strong as possible. And I was like, I'm beating my cousins and beating all my friends. That's what I was focused on.
All right. I gotta
I was
ask an
focused on-
important question. I
But
gotta ask an important question for me and me only. Did anyone else actually like the Pokemon contest?
I use those for EVs and IVs.
What the
Well, EVs, not
the
IVs. EVs.
trade contest, like the tough.
No, like the actual. Okay, I don't know if anyone remembers. I remember being a huge fan of it. I think it was in either Soul Silver or X and Y, where you could like, much like the anime, you could do Pokemon contests, like the beautiful, like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
showing off the
Yeah,
style
yeah.
and whatnot. Did anyone else
Is
like
that
that
different
besides
from-
me?
I use them for
Sorry,
EVs. That's it.
Is that different from what I was? From
No,
what
no, you're right. It's the same. Like the beauty and the cool and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also use that to evolve my Feebas into my Lodic. It had to be Max Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Milotic was not a Pokemon. Ruby and Sapphire was the game I completed the Pokédex for, and
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to do it. I was just trying.
With me and Emerald, I was like, I want every Pokemon. And Emerald was also my very first shiny ever.
Oh,
Cool.
So I had two shinies now. I got a shiny Torchic, and then I got a shiny
how does it feel to be God's favorite?
bro. I was simply built differently. You know what I'm saying? It was just,
Okay.
Shiny starter.
I was just made out of different stuff. You know, it was crazy. I was just like, you know, and I kept that Blaziken, transferred it over to my DS games and all. I think it's in my Pokemon
Home.
yeah, it's in my Pokemon home chilling right now, I believe.
Nice.
So yeah,
You
like
guys
hopefully
wanna
I get to
quick
transfer it to
story time?
something one day.
When was a small child and an idiot, I got tricked out of a shiny.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's funny that you said Torchic because I had a shiny
Somebody
Torchic as
told you
well.
Something was wrong with it.
I'm pretty sure that's a felony. That's a felony.
Yeah,
I had a
yeah man, I
shiny
hate to see it.
Torchic, and I remember seeing this like, oh, it's a different color, and I thought the game glitched, but I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I didn't want to tromp my game, by the way, because I thought if I turn it off and turn it back on, like
Man.
Wow.
it should be fixed. But like I was at a party and my cousin was also there, and my cousin also plays Pokemon, and like he peeped it. He was like,
You got
oh,
bean boozled.
I got tricked. He
What a
tricked me into trading it.
Drop an F in the chat.
You got bean boozled. Couldn't man. Dang. Hate to see it.
So what
It happens
happened? So I was like
everybody.
older,
Where
and I was
does it
like,
now? That's some deep darkness, yo. Come on.
Probably looking
was
at
like,
that Torchic right now, like,
it's my shiny.
You're entitled to financial compensation at this point.
nah. Yeah, like Emerald was so big, so like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire being as trash as they were was so disappointing. It was so disappointing because I feel like Hoenn region, it might be like it's top 5 for sure. Top 5 region. For sure, top 5 region.
And I feel bad because I feel like the only reason that I will fight to the death to have Unova in the top 5 is because the game was just unpacked. The game was.
Like Black and White was
I honestly
me
don't
personally-
remember the Unova region like at all.
All right. I'm about to hit my spiel now. All right, it might be
Go
time.
for it, homie.
It might be time.
Go
Black
ahead.
and white, and black and white too. Even more so, black and white though, for some reasons, are the best Pokemon game. Like,
Excuse me?
Hey,
Go ahead,
I'm
sir. Go
gonna
ahead.
be real. Black
him
and white
speak.
are the best
Let him
Pokemon
speak.
game.
Wait, come
Best
again.
Pokemon game.
I'm gonna let you say
Let
your
them,
speech.
let him speak.
Best Pokemon, best region, right here. I'm gonna kick it down to you old school real quick. All right, I'm gonna kick it down to you real quick. Right.
Sir?
So black and white was the first time after Kanto where most of the Pokédex is new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's one. So now, after the initial region, after Kanto, you're coming into a Pokemon game. You know which Pokemon you really want to catch. You're like, yeah, I want to get me one of these, one of those. Your team ends up being like 2 new Pokemon and then the old reliables. Nah. You don't get to do that in black and white. You didn't even get the national decks in the main game yet. You can't even, you get like, in the Pokemon, I think there's like 4 or 5 old Pokemon total in there, right? So every place you go to, every patch of grass you're going into, you don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
Completely new thing. Also, like how we were speaking about before with X and Y, realizing that, hey, the people that were growing with Pokemon have grown. Like black and white, you're not that 10-year-old you're not that 10-year-old character anymore. Right? You're an older kid. You're facing things like the whole concept of the story is so great. The idea of having to become a united world through the diversity of the characters, because you meet characters like N, who's amazing. Estes, who's a great villain. Like this, it's such an amazing story too. But like that journey of going through the Unova region, then Unova region also being the first time where they start having real illustrations through the landscape as you're going through the region, that dictates and like tells you more about what's happening in the story. That diversity of like every city being its own ecosystem. All that done so beautifully. And then even better, you beat the game and guess what? There's challenge mode. Oh, wait a second. I'm not the only person that's on a journey. All these other trainers, their Pokemon get to level up and evolve too. Oh, now they have full teams. Oh, they were going on a journey just like I was. So I get to run it back with everybody that I went through on that journey the first time. And guess what? They've been training too. Amazing. Great game. Fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then like the things that black and white did to capture you, I feel like that was, and also the animated sprites, so amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. What? So,
Yeah.
because like there's a lot that gets lost in the 3D transition because there's a lot of imagination that gets to be imparted into these Pokemon's designs when they're 2D, right? The 3D works for some Pokemon, but a lot of Pokemon lose that ability to have that
Reptile Flosion.
Like Cyndaquil losing
yeah,
its
like,
Typhlosion
like,
like that's the thing. Like
blades.
because that 3D, the 3D models can flatten out a lot of these designs and make them a bit too plain because they don't translate well into being that visible, you
I
know.
agree.
So from an artistic standpoint, those animated pixels, where I wish they would have had more time to, because if they would have perfected that, I feel like Pokemon would have been so amazing afterwards. They could have gone so crazy with the Pokemon designs at that point. But
Now,
you know, they switched to 3D right after. And it is what it is.
Respect.
You know.
But I will say this. I think Unova was really the first generation that I was just lukewarm. The legendary in this region. Like I was really so used to just kind of looking at the box art and knowing, all right, I know that's the version I'm getting because that's the legendary that I want. Looking at black and white, just being
Don't they look the fucking same? I
Yeah.
really
No, they don't look the same.
Whoa,
I'm
fall
like
back.
dead ass trying to
Ramen and
remember, like,
Reshiram don't look the same at all. What do you mean? What?
okay, that wasn't on purpose. That wasn't on purpose.
Listen,
That
man,
wasn't-
no, now I don't apologize for the truth.
You're gonna say Zekrom and Reshiram look the same?
Boy, if you cross
No,
your eyes,
no.
if you
Nah,
cross
they
your
don't
eyes,
look the
that's-
same.
that's
Okay,
still
I'm sorry.
a-
He was
Let me
literally
explain
black
myself.
and the other
Let
one's
me explain
white.
myself.
Hold on,
Let me explain
I let
myself.
you have a
Hold
beautiful-
up, hold on.
I let you have a beautiful moment. And I just need to say, because I am not discounting any of what makes Black and White so incredible, and I 100% that it was a pivotal moment. But the fact of the matter is that yes, they look different enough, but the designs did not grab me. And then I hate to say supplementary legendaries, but like, you know, the other niche legendaries that have like little areas in the game, they did not grab me either. Like, say
They
what
had
you
more
want. I went
legendaries?
looking. Oh, but that's part of the point, right? Like, say what you want about the Reggies, but you went looking for them. You couldn't be no smooth brain little kid looking for the Reggies. You had to go figure it out, solve your puzzle, or go buy your copy of Game Informer and struggle like the masses. Couldn't just jump in somewhere, throw your Master Ball, and have done with it. You had to work like you did in Ruby and Sapphire. And I
Yo,
appreciated that.
okay, real talk.
Wait,
I
hold on, wait, I can't let this.
No, you shut up. You shut up. You shut up. Hold on. Hold on a
Do
second.
Black and White,
Hold
bro.
on. I'm gonna let you have your thing. I'm gonna let you have your thing.
What? Catching the genies and then getting the Therian forms? Catching
did not
Kyurem and then
care.
getting Kyurem's other two forms?
I did not care.
User
for the
Reshiram and
gods.
Zekrom? Getting
I did
Genesect
not
and getting all
care.
the plates? Getting Keldeo and getting Keldeo's alternate
Yo,
form?
you okay, my
It is-
dude?
it is- Elfio, wait a minute. This
Look,
man
she's
did not
saying things that aren't factual.
Okay,
did
hold
not
on.
discuss
Elfio
Elfio was
First
with
of
two
all,
forms?
a
Like,
game.
what?
I'm
Elfio
gonna
is
be
not a
real.
selling point for any game. Take that back.
Wait,
Take
what'd you
that back.
say?
Stop it. Keldeo is not a selling
You're
point.
not hating on Keldeo. Come
Oh my
on.
god.
That's how I know you're
Come
competitive.
on. You're hating on Keldeo?
That's how I know you're
Come
competitive.
on, bruv. Come
Yo,
on.
y'all good?
How you feel about Shaman then?
Come
I
on.
cannot wait to
Shaman
hear how you
goated.
feel
What?
about Shaman. How do you
Shaman's
feel about
Oh, I
goated.
love Shaman. Shaman's amazing.
Shaman is
I
goated. I
can't even know
remember
what Shaman
walking
looks
on
like.
the ocean, sliding over to Shaman, finding it by accident. It was pivotal. That was a pivotal moment in every gamer's life.
Well, you know what?
Okay.
I'm very glad
Okay.
because I actually do agree. Shaman is.
I
Yeah,
agree with
Shaman and
Ollie
Shaman
because, like,
Skyfall,
yo,
even doper. Like,
for the last
And
like
what I said.
20 minutes, I've been trying to remember what the legendary from Black and White looks like, and dead as it's a blur. It's like, dear,
I
that's why when this
blur when it was released. I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Y'all gotta leave my boy Zekrom alone. That boy is sleek as
bro,
hell.
Zekrom, Reshiram, Thundoras, Tornadus,
when you said Reggie, I
Landorus.
was like, oh, I know what that Pokemon looks like, and then like it's like I remember every legendary Shaman. I remember like that looks like, and then Black and White, it's legit like all just a blur in my head. I'm just like, what
Yeah,
the
but you
hell?
said you didn't play them, so it would make sense why.
You
It's like,
I
cannot
played a
call
little.
to mind what Thunderous looks like. You cannot.
you said
have
what?
to do it. You cannot call to mind what that Pokemon looks.
They're the genies. They're the easiest ones to remember.
Sorry, who,
You
name
cannot-
Thundoras,
Pokemon?
Landorus, and Tornadus.
Godzilla with a turbine tail.
No, that you're talking about Zekrom and Reshiram.
Yes.
I'm asking what the other three like triads of legendaries look like from Black and White.
Let's see.
Yo, they had more legendaries. That's fucking
I
crazy.
care
See, there's two different trios in Black.
Yeah,
and
there's
White.
two.
Only care
There's
about one.
two different trios.
I don't know.
There's two different trios
It's
in
like
Black. and White.
the
I didn't even
the
know that.
Musketeers
So
or
you're
whatever.
right.
There's the-
I must
there's
not
the
have
three
played Black and
genies.
White, or
That
at the very
sounds-
least, I must not have finished
The
it
three
because my
genies.
That's what I'm
memory
saying,
of
'cause
Black
there's
and
the-
White
there's the
is
three
so
genies,
vague.
And then there's the
Like,
three horses.
I'm not
People
worried
still
about
call them the legendary dogs, so that's like, but whatever. It's the three horses.
Lord have
Yeah.
mercy. But
Like, I'm
hold
saying,
on.
like, yo.
Hold on. I will say this about Black and White, right? What I always go back to Crystal for some reason, but hear me out. All right, let me.
You explained why.
It's like Crystal did this thing for me where I felt like I was in my own. Here's my weeb moment, right? I felt like I was in my own like anime, right?
I feel you.
doing my own story and whatnot. Like it really did that for me. And Crystal was like my own personal sort of Pokemon anime, right? I feel like I didn't really capture that again until Black and White.
Mm-hmm. Same, brother.
Feel that.
Preach.
Okay.
Yo.
Yeah.
Turn them
okay,
up.
pause,
Turn
pause,
them
pause.
up.
Yeah.
I
He's saying
just
right
looked
now.
up. I just looked up the legendaries for Black and White. They do look the same. It's Latios and Latios all over again.
Good lord.
You're just
I
big
didn't
capping,
say-
bro. Your cap collection is
Yeah.
massive. Where'd you find all those? Where'd you find all those caps, man?
Legit
That's
Latios
crazy.
and Latios all over again.
Look,
You're
look.
oh, I don't
will
understand
not-
how you're
I will
saying this.
not sit here.
I don't understand how.
Because guys, come on. Like people resonate with legendaries differently, right? So I can
think
can
Latios might
buy
have better
how
design than
some
this.
people. Lord, look, I can see how like John, how do you feel about the legendaries and how everyone doesn't vibe, but nah, man, like black
Yeah,
and white.
You don't have to like them. Just they don't
Look,
look. What are you talking about?
No, but the point I'm trying to make is that black and white had this thing of really throwing you into like this
Mhm.
story. You know what I mean? Like really expanding this narrative that I really didn't get since Crystal. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And because I'm really trying to remember the games in between
Was
that.
Black
It's not that
and
it's
White the green hair
forgettable.
boy, the green hair rivaled?
And yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so I did play it then. I did play it. Damn, my memory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm trying to like. What was before black and white? Right before black and white.
That was Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
So Silver.
before that
Wasn't it X and
Sinnoh.
Y?
I
No,
thought
X
it
and
was.
Y is after.
After.
Wait, it wasn't Sinnoh before that?
It was Sinnoh.
Yeah.
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 Which was
Sinnoh,
what?
Platinum. was
Diamond and
Sinnoh.
Pearl,
I
right?
ain't,
Diamond
I
and
ain't gonna lie.
Pearl.
Let me just look it up
Platinum's in
real
the
quick.
top 5 too. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
Platinum go crazy.
Then
Yeah.
Black and White.
Yeah.
You
Platinum's
know.
sick.
So, let me not. No, you keep going.
No,
I was
I'm
gonna bring up
just
something.
saying, like, what? I don't know if I'm going off on a tangent for you guys, but it's like, what region really captured like those beautiful moments? I mean, because we talk about mechanics and everything like that, but I'm really passionate about like what Crystal did for me as like a narrative and whatnot.
Yeah.
But what is like your like personal region? Like you will see yourself there. You
Ruby.
know what I mean?
Black and white.
Yo, what is wrong with you? Like,
Black and white.
Yo, he loves black and white, man.
Okay,
The story was.
Yeah, there's no
the
wrong
narrative is
answer. to this.
Crazy.
There's no wrong
Sean is
answer.
absolutely
Yeah.
correct to like black and white, and
Yeah.
because
you're so hard on it. It's not
Wait,
even
The
region.
narrative
Say the
is
region.
crazy in black and
The
white.
narrative-
Wait, do you mean region or game, Hobie? Like,
it's
do you
not
mean
just
region or
that. Like,
game?
black and white was really black and white was honestly black and white was the first game to kind of introduce you of having like a not rival and a rival. Like
Mhm.
the fact now when you were like, oh, the green haired rival, N's not really your rival.
Yeah.
You don't even remember
No,
your
I'm
rival.
gonna be
Sharon is your rival.
real. I remember the green hair rival or friend or whatever. I remember liking him, which means I did play the game. But man, is my memory of that game just shot? Like it's just not there.
Absolutely. Like N wasn't even really your rival. N
Yeah.
was kind of like
He was a main character of a different story happening
Exactly.
simultaneously to
Like,
yours.
It truly
N
was.
was
Like,
your alternate.
How
Like,
fire he is. Like,
Yeah, and was like your
He's
not
your
even your
heartless.
foil. He was like someone
he
who's like
is your heartless.
yeah.
Heartless.
like he's
Oh, God.
literally another person going through a story opposite to yours at the same time.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
And he's dope.
Yeah,
Yes.
like that's why it's so
He's
cool.
kind of cute. I remember
Like-
thinking he was cute.
Like black and white was like it was like a battle of ideologies throughout the whole game, and it's like that duality, and that's why the
Yeah,
whole
I
statement
did
of
play
black
it.
and
I
white
remember
is
the
so
ending.
big, you know.
Oh, I remember the ending. I did play it.
Like the symbolism behind all that, they did it so well, man. They were storytellers in black and white. I ain't gonna lie. I remember when I first booted it up.
actually was pretty good. I do
When,
remember.
when I first booted up black and white and it started with a cutscene, I knew I was in for something special. I
Mm-hmm.
knew I was in for something special. I was like, oh, what? A cutscene? Pokemon? What?
So, do you
Oh,
feel
well.
like black and white is like that story wise, like they really put effort into that story in black
Yeah.
and white, and in
Yeah,
black and white too, probably, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they gave a damn.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
To
sure I
the point
didn't
where
play
it
Black and
needed a
White too.
sequel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I
like
played
a
Black
lot
and
of
White
the
last
games, because in a lot of the games, it's like the story is not as like. I think maybe
What
Diamond
story?
and Pearl is like a different
Yeah.
story, but like
like
story wise, it's like
Well,
Sinnoh,
hold on.
Sinnoh, Unova, and X and Y. That's Kalos, right? No.
Kalos.
Yeah, those three regions, I feel like have the most story-driven gameplay, but Black and White and Kalos took it a step beyond, you know? Like, Platinum did it well, too. Platinum did it better than Diamond and Pearl, of course, because, you know, Platinum had way more than both of those games. But Black and White and X and Y definitely took it a step further. And I feel like if X and Y had a bit more time, because X and Y was one of those games when you started to feel like they were getting rushed a bit, which was unfortunate because X and Y was a great game.
It was,
but it was a great game, but that was when they started kind of getting rushed to drop games.
John, can you name those 3 regions for me?
Which Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos.
Because like I know I keep coming back to like when I imagine myself as a protagonist, I will always, because it was really the first game where I felt like whatever mess was going on with Team Aqua and Team Magma, and the fact that they were just pissing off the legendaries.
Yo,
when you get to the end game and it won't stop raining wherever you go, and it's like, oh, you can't actually ignore the fact that the about to
Right.
That hit.
Yeah.
And I find that while following the main story definitely has that level of gravity in a lot of them, it has been a very long time since I felt, oh no, the world's gonna end. Like, I can't go anywhere and avoid this. Like, I have a lot to say about Sword and Shield. Not all of it.
Trash games. Huh?
Not all of it is time. But I will say this. There was a very brief point where I guess we really don't care about Sword and Shield. It's been out for years.
Nah, we could share.
Definitely did not play, but I do not give a fuck. I'm never gonna finish it.
But the thing is, there's a point where you get to the end game and you get like down into the basement, because there's always a basement. There's always some experiment. Somebody's always experimenting on Pokemon in a way that we've continued this tradition. But there was like a point at which I was like, oh no, this world might end. But it didn't last long enough to really hook me. And I was disappointed because, damn, I haven't felt like that. I cannot discount your words about Black and White. Understand. I will say what I want about the legendary designs. It's an aesthetic opinion. It is not reflective of or dismissive of what the game did in culture. But I truly believe that in terms of going out to tell a story and wanting, say what you want about your fave, how many got a direct sequel?
That is true.
That's what Black and White got it, bro.
Right. And you know what? I do agree, because like, it's crazy that I didn't have much memory. I have memory of like the older games more than Black and White, which was the more recent game that I played, I guess. But I do remember the story was actually pretty damn good, honestly. I do remember like an N a lot as like a rival friend or whatever the fuck he was. It was good. I strangely remember even catching the legendary whose name I don't remember. I think I had white version because I remember it being white.
Pressure.
I remember like my
if you caught the white one, you had black then. It was
black.
opposites.
Oh, is that how?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like that's why Black and White, because also it's like it was based off New York, like that's right over there. Like,
I remember like
That's all you had to really say.
I did play the
No,
sequel,
you
though.
could have just said that.
All you had to say was you like the Tims, bro. That's all you had to say.
Not even, bro. Come on, man. But not like,
No.
because the thing is, like, Black and White was not the only game. Like that and X and Y was the only game where I felt like I was actually thinking about the logistics of a world of Pokemon trainers. Like, because they legit talking about that throughout the game. They're like, yo, is it cool that we're doing it? Because like initially, guess this whole thing is like, yo, you trainers, you don't deserve to have these Pokemon. You shouldn't be battling with them. They don't want that. And then N, being the person that's able to actually communicate with the Pokemon, he's a different kind of trainer. He's like, yeah, you know what? These people are right. Y'all are hurting these Pokemon. I can speak to them. They don't even mess with y'all that much, to be honest. So it's like, but then it's like as he grows and he's going through his journey, opposite of yours, because you're coming up, you're a teenager, you're out here, I get these Pokemon, you know what I'm saying, sliding about, and you just stumble across this whole thing that's happening, you know? And then the world starts unraveling around you. It's so great, man. It's just amazing. It's amazing storytelling, and I'm sad that they dropped the ball after that. Like, cause X and Y was great, but I definitely felt like with X and Y, I still felt like I was a player playing a game, even though I loved X and Y.
Yeah.
I
That's
felt
my
like
thing
I
with the
was I
games.
felt like I was watching a story happen, whereas in Black and White, I was thinking about the story like, dang. Because
Yeah.
there were even times in Black and White rather, where they ask you things and you get to like answer, you know, which one, you know, and of course it's not like it's a Pokemon game, so it's not like the choices have, you know, big old you pick this choice so now things change over here. But it's just the fact
Yeah,
that
they're
there
not
were
trying to
times.
traumatize kids. Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that you had to they gave you the opportunity of like, what would you say to end right here? Or what would you say to guess this right here? Like those moments, I was really like, yo.
I just want to catch some Pokemon.
No, I'm like, what do I think about this? Hold on, like, should the Pokemon be free? But my Pokemon like me. I checked earlier. Wait a second.
For real. I'm gonna be real. Knowing me, I would have been like, my Pokemon definitely like me. They have
Yeah.
no choice. Like,
No, yeah, but it's like those kind of things in that story, and seeing N even struggle with that because he also has that perspective of the fact that he can actually communicate with the Pokemon. So he's struggling, like, yo, am I right? What's happening exactly? I guess this is a villain. Whoa, like, you know.
okay, wait, pause. This is a side question because it's been bothering me. Which Pokemon game had the three stupid ass kids that were rivals but not really?
X and Y.
Kalos, X and Y. Kalos.
Okay, damn, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah, that's yeah. You don't really have a rival in X and Y for real. That was the thing in X and Y. There's not really a rival. Like,
I hated them.
That's the
I think
thing.
I hated them honestly.
No,
I
you
think I
had
really,
good
I
friends
really.
in X and Y. But the thing is, the one thing that X and Y did for us, and the community definitely agreed that thing that it definitely did was giving you the option to see your skin and being able to
Yes.
actually look at my character and see a character that looks more
Yep.
like that was a completely different.
It was a game changer. Plus, you can drip yourself out. This was
And
dope.
wear
Yo,
clothes
ooh.
that you would wear like that.
I love the customization in that game so much.
I really
man.
felt like X and Y was that game where it was short, but I think that it was short because some editor or some like big exec from on high who stands in the lot was on vacation for like 3 solid weeks, and they were like, guys, he's gone, let's do it, whatever, we need more Pokemon, just empty your purse, whatever is lying in that purse, that's a Pokemon. We got keys, we got
God.
we got ice,
The ice cream,
whatever,
the trash,
a sword,
the literal
just a sword.
trash.
Mm-hmm.
We borrowed some guys from Legend of Zelda. We're just gonna take some of them, work on some Pokemon. You drew nothing but swords? Fine, we can work with that. They're now all Pokemon. Sword, this shield, this sword and the shield, the double sword, all of it. Whatever it is. Like that,
Throw it at the wall.
Kyle's most ridiculous generation as far as Pokemon. And T can tell you that the love that I had for my Aegislash was stronger than the love that
Yeah, I felt jealous. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo,
like I caught one as a joke. I caught him when he was the sword as a joke. I'm like, this Pokemon, but you know what? As a Doughblade,
oh my God, are you crying?
Like,
Oh my god.
jeez.
like I can't.
You've been petting him
What?
for hours. Can we go out somewhere?
No. No, he did well. He killed them. He
Oh.
deserves his pets.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Oh,
crazy
sorry,
how
T.
opposite we were in opinions of Aegislash and like Honedge and
I
because
understand.
when
I
I
understand.
first saw Aegislash, I was like, that joint fire.
I appreciate you for appreciating my boy when I Nah, because when I
Immediately.
caught that Hornage, I'm like, this is a ridiculous Pokemon. I just need something that can use type. And then he started picking up ghost type moves. And then when he finally, I didn't even want to let him evolve. But then when I finally did, and Aegislash and me Shadow Ball him,
Start flexing.
everyone dies tonight.
We're all ghosts.
Like, and I think because I was also one of those kids that would like look at the Pokemon and think about like the lore of like how that Pokemon exists,
Yes.
and the idea that Honedge was a ghost sword. I'm like, that's such a dope like.
It's fire. I
Yeah,
did
it's a
not
dope
appreciate
lore
it
Sure,
at
behind
the
it,
something.
time, and
yeah.
I appreciate it
Yeah.
so much more
We've
now.
been talking about Pokemon for like a while now, and we haven't once even really mentioned the
Our
very
favorite.
latest one. Like
Because
Arceus.
those games suck, all right?
I was actually gonna segue into
Well,
that.
actually, hold on. Wait, by
Okay.
latest one, do you mean Legends Arceus?
Yes, like
No,
Oh,
that game's actually good.
no.
Actually, a
I
good game.
assure you, like,
Actually, a
let's
good
go
game.
Eevee, Sword,
Trash.
Yeah,
all the other
gonna-
Oh, I
shit.
forgot about
No.
those. Yeah.
I don't talk about
Guys,
those.
like,
Trash games. Trash games.
we discussed, like,
Wait. Hold on. Do we consider Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD bad?
No.
No, those aren't mainline games. They're good though.
Yeah,
They gotta
listen,
pass.
if we get into the weeds, then I'm going to have to and preach to you about Pokemon. We don't have time.
I'm sure we do appreciate
No.
how those spin-offs came about and what they did for the genre. Those were dope.
Yeah,
But-
some of the spin-off games are cool. You know,
Yeah.
Pokemon
But
Mystery
definitely-
Dungeons are dope.
oh, absolutely.
Not all of them, but you know,
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, we can agree on
not
that.
all of them.
We
Yeah.
discussed on what our favorite parts of like Black and White, Ruby and Sapphire, all the things that made us gravitate to.
Like,
What do you guys think the subsequent series lacked? Like Sun and Moon. How many of y'all played that?
I played them.
I ain't touched
I
that
don't
one, man. I ain't touched that.
I got a lot.
I
I got a lot of opinions on that
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, I got a lot
Yeah,
of opinions on that
let's
too.
talk
That
about
can-
it. Like for real, what do you think was the downfall for the series for you that made you just away?
First off, those games were incomplete.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
That's one. Those games were not finished.
Yeah.
So they were empty. Characters have incomplete dialogue. Like there's characters that you meet once that don't matter at all. Like there's the game was super easy. Like they tried to act like they were doing something different with it. It's not gyms. It's the haha. Yeah, all right, buddy. Like like I
Like,
didn't.
you were going- it really did feel like they didn't go all the way with that
Yeah.
idea. Like they could have.
Yeah,
but
my
they
head
didn't,
was
and they
empty the
stopped
whole
just
time.
here.
My head was completely. I was able to play through Sun and Moon without thinking. It
Without
was so
caring.
easy.
Yes.
No.
Hold on,
Didn't
I gotta
care.
look this up.
Felt
Did
like
I play
now
Sun and
what?
Moon?
Like, and then the Z moves were a cool idea.
No.
That
Yes.
was a gimmick.
Cool idea.
Yeah.
It
Execution.
wasn't just a gimmick.
The execution was hit or miss. Because some of them were cool, some weren't. Like it was hit or miss.
You know what
I
actually murdered me?
What?
The fact that Legends Arceus quite literally came up with a simpler, more streamlined, and better version. Like strong style and agile style.
yeah.
If they had
Gotta
been,
love that.
if they had been in Sun and Moon,
Yeah.
we would have had so much less beef. Like there was so much of Sun and Moon just legacy writing. Like it was like, oh, you liked this in another game? Well, get ready for a new flavor. You liked this in another game? Did you like those beautiful, well-crafted treats from the Kalos region that you could feed your Pokemon? Here's like, I don't know, a balled up pancake. Don't you want to feed your Pokemon a balled up pancake? You remember how much you loved Mega Evolutions and how like significant they were? Well, what if your Pokemon does fucking while you dance a little bit?
Yeah.
Don't you want that? Don't you want it? Like,
Oh
what?
my God.
And
like,
you know what
that's
made
the
Sun and
ultimate
Moon worse
entirely.
too? What made Sun and Moon worse is they release the continuation, right? And change the story, right? So it's like now Sun and Moon matters even less. So that incomplete game, they made a complete version, which is the deluxe joints, right? All right,
Yeah.
cool. So you think you're gonna go in there, it's gonna be like usual when you get the third game. It's like, all right, cool, you get the expanded version, like there's more, it intertwines like a third thing, whatever. No, change the story. The stuff that happened over there doesn't really matter. Retconned. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now I just spent $60 $120 if I got both for this game that means nothing now. That's what's up. Great.
Yo.
And then the complete version isn't even that good either. So I'm like, what are we doing here? I wasted time twice. Like,
You know what? I didn't even
wasted time twice.
I didn't even mention it in some of the auxiliaries, but just noting some of the other things about the games that they borrowed from games and did. How do you go to America and none of the clothes are good? Like there was nothing good to wear.
No drip, yo. No drip. I'm like, yo,
Devastating lack.
why am I here?
What absolutely murdered me is that not only were the clothes not good, but everyone in that game was dressed better than you. Guzma was dressed better than you.
Yo.
Like
Yo,
Seed
you felt
was dressed
offended.
amazingly.
that's
Even-
Zero drip.
Even Lily got a better dress. Like
there was so
All
much
right.
potential, man. Some of the characters are cool. Like Guzma and Lisa and what's
Guzma
her
was
name?
incredible.
Like their interaction, their storyline interesting.
yes.
What do they do with the trash? Like, you know, so it's like it's there's so much potential there. None of it amounts to anything. And it's like that was when you felt the hardest that these games were rushed. And Sun and Moon was when you felt like, oh, they didn't have enough time.
Mhm.
And then it's also just like not that they didn't have enough time. They didn't really have any of the ideas even really implemented. And then it's like the Pokemon look kind of trash. Not gonna lie to you. Outside of a couple cool ones, because the 3D wasn't really hitting right.
Right.
Like it's
The Ultra Beast.
It's like they
the
were
Ultra
cranking
Beast
out
crazy.
Pokemon just for the sake
yeah.
of
They were.
pumping out
It's crazy that you
Pokemon
guys say
at
that
point.
because you guys have all these reasons for why you guys don't like the later game, and all I could think of, why did I fall out of Pokemon? Burnout.
Yeah,
It was too
that's
much.
it.
Like coming out all at once, and I'm just like, I kind of just need a break. Honestly, I just kind of want to step away. It's the
Mhm.
same thing
Yeah.
anyway. Like,
That's
Sun
the
and
thing.
Moon
It
came out.
became the same thing. Like there was enough difference between like going from Sinnoh to Unova into Kalos. There was enough difference and that's why I feel like Black was such a pivotal thing, because having that region where everything's new, it refreshes you. Because now it's like, all right, cool. The next Pokemon game, we just came off of a region where everything was different. So now this next Pokemon game, all right, cool. I'm ready for whatever comes through, you know. And then X and Y was more of a mix of like, yeah, you know, and because like you also have the new experience of this the first 3D game,
Exactly.
you know.
And
So
it
it's
wasn't-
again,
it
it's
wasn't
something
just
new.
It wasn't just that it was the first 3 game. It that because they had a new dimension to it, quite literally everything had to be different. So there was no way that it was feel the same. Even the parts of it that were the same felt completely different. Like it really was a. But Nai's absolutely right. Like when I understand why people like it's not too soon. Every 2 years, and this is the development's like match up and yada yada. We got Sun and Moon in 27. We got Ultra Sun and Moon in 27. We got Let's Go Pikachu in 28. We got Sword and
a Pokemon game every year.
we got
like,
DLC for Sword and Shield. Like we didn't just get hit every year. We got hit more of the same because John is right. They weren't complete and they were rolling out the same game in parts every year and telling us that's not what they
Yep.
It did start being
Like Sword and Shield. If Sword and Shield dropped how it was after the second DLC, it would have been a much better game. Still sucks, but it would have been a much better game.
Still
If
sucks.
Sword and Shield,
Sucks.
if Sword and Shield had just waited, if we had nothing, Let's Go Pikachu and Sword and Shield had waited until the Isle of Armor were included in the main game, they could have had a fighting chance at being that reset. They could have had a fighting chance at being that because we needed the entire expanse. By this point, we'd already had Breath of the we'd
Right.
already had all the clones. We already had. We're literally like rolling in the fields, and I'm pretty sure Skyrim had for like the 20. We had
Yeah, I
got it on the
options
microwave,
if we
yeah.
wanted to go exactly on the microwave, on the Apple Watch. I'm pretty sure that we had so many if we wanted to roam. And as much as they tried to keep other creators, we have had examples from the fandom themselves of how easily this concept could translate to open world idea. And I felt so bad, and I'm sorry that we're mentioning it, but I felt so bad when I saw the trailer for Scarlet and Violet because I'm like,
Right.
this is how it was supposed to
See,
when we saw this trailer.
See, here's the thing, right?
100%. 100%.
This is
When
how
I
it
saw
was
the trailer,
supposed to feel. I'm like, now you're too late. You can't.
when
I'm
I
like,
saw
you
the
can't
trailer,
come in here and do this.
I was honestly thinking, you guys just released the game. You want to wait just a little bit? Like,
No. Here's the
can't
thing.
do
Here's the
this.
thing with Scarlet. Legends Arceus was definitely a test on the engine, and
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet are gonna be like the fully realized versions of what Arceus could
I
be.
Yeah,
believe it.
like
And
as soon as I
that's
saw
why
Arceus, I was like, nah, this is definitely like some sort of like
It was
it's
a stress test.
hardware test.
It was a stress
yeah.
test for sure.
And
Yeah.
and I think that's the problem because we can kind of already see that pattern.
Mhm.
You know, we see that pattern in the way games have been released. Either we're getting something completely new that is just testing for down the line. You know, and honestly, that's a really good example of why we got X and Y when, and then we immediately made the switch back to, oh, here's Omega Ruby and Alpha.
Yep,
You know,
Mhm.
go back to 2D for a second, sit down, and watch. You know, that's why X and Y was so short.
Like that's
you
like
time to figure out what you really wanted to do with it, and it's like, no, you actually had going, and they're like, nah, it's too late.
Like they should have just stuck to 2D. I don't think Pokemon should have went 3D until Legends Arceus. But like
I disagree with you. I
Mm,
disagree with that.
disagree
You
a
need
little
to.
bit.
I'll
I
honestly
don't-
say
I
after
don't
seeing-
think Pokemon needed like mainline Pokemon games. I don't think they needed to be 3D, to be honest.
X
X and Y was fine.
I somewhat agree, only because
I
it's
don't think they
Typhlosion.
needed to be,
Only
I
because it's
feel
Typhlosion.
like
bro. Like
I
I'm
f-
saying, like
I feel
so much
like
of the art is lost.
High Top, what'd you say?
Hey, no. Like I get, John. I get what you mean, but like it should have stayed 2D. But I feel like it was gonna be at some point. It was gonna turn 3D anyway. But like you said, if they decided to make Legends Arceus be that first ever 3D Pokemon game, would have probably blew our freaking minds.
The impact would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Because X and Y was, let's be real, having X and Y on a handheld device as small as the DS was a game changer for us anyway. It blew our minds anyway. It was like, oh wow, like we getting a 3D game in our hands. It's not like on a big console, not like a GameCube, like Pokemon Coliseum or Stadium or something. It's in our hands. We can take it with us anywhere. That blew our minds right then and there.
Game Boy and the SP.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the Game Boy and SP, but we actually now have a device that was strong enough to actually do a 3D game.
Yeah.
And we can carry it around. And I feel like that was a really, really cool. But I get John's case that if we waited till Arceus to actually do it, would have definitely blew our minds. Especially like real Sword and Shield was so bare bones. Like going out in the freaking the open world that they had for that wasn't what type of shit was that?
Rocks
Okay.
and trees, bro. That's it.
Rocks and
yes, you have
trees.
city games that are 3D, but like the thing is that I don't want them to hold off on doing their on trying 3D and trying out potential until they could wow us with Arceus. Like I am fine with them introducing 3D for X and Y because X and Y was great. It looked great in 3D. It blew our mind, honestly.
I
don't
didn't
wanna give
it didn't
up that
blow my
experience.
mind. It
I
was
don't.
cool.
I do not want them
You
to
lying.
give them that experience.
It
You're
was
very
cool.
clearly-
Didn't
Cap.
blow my mind.
You're
Cap.
very clearly
I
hard.
do not cap.
to
I do
impress,
not cap. I do not cap.
though. You're just hard to.
I'm not saying that I'm hard to impress, but I
You
am
are.
partly a realist. I
I
am partly a realist. So like I'm not gonna lie to you. When I played X and Y, right, and I peeped them slow down, I peeped them drops in frames, I was like,
Okay.
Oh yes, because
Okay.
Arceus is better with that.
like maybe we should have waited. Like maybe we should have waited. I don't know.
The fact that you even talk about drops in
First of all,
frames.
first of all,
always
it's
in my-
Nintendo.
So when you're
That's
battling,
what they are.
when
That's
you're
what
when
they
you're
are, but
battling,
like,
that junk is ugly, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Now, please join me over here where we are enjoying feeding Pokemon in 3D for the
absolutely.
first time.
You and me, we know
but
better.
the thing is, the
No,
game would
that
slow down while I'm biking in between towns. Like I'm bipping and booping, listening to the music. Then like
First of all,
come on, bro.
You realize that
I don't know what
Arceus
kind of
also has
console
frame
you
drops,
have.
right? Like the Switch, not for nothing, can't handle a lot of
man.
games, honestly.
Arceus plays pretty fun. It's rare for Arceus to really drop much. It's really rare. Like that's
Ah.
like Arceus. That's what I'm saying. Arceus is a solid game. It's a good game. Like that's why I made sure to support Arceus because it was the first time in a while
Your
that I felt like
entire
they had
spiel
some
is
type
that
of.
you
The
want them
what?
to wait to do 3D until Arceus because it will really no. I don't want them to like hold back just because they want to wow us with like the
No,
next.
but they didn't hold back though. If you're dropping something that's incomplete and you're making 3 trash games in a row, you
X and
clearly
Y was
weren't
not
ready for the
incomplete.
jump.
X and Y was not incomplete. Like the other
X
games,
and
yeah,
Y,
yeah,
no,
absolutely.
X and Y was incomplete. Though. It
X
was.
and Y
It
was
was.
short.
I would
It
say
was
it's succinct.
it-
Yeah.
They
it was
admitted
short.
it was incomplete. It was not complete. There was
It-
supposed to be more for X and Y. Like
I completely understand, but the fact is,
it was still
like,
good though. Don't get me wrong. Like I
But
said,
that's
X and
what
Y
I'm
is in my
saying,
top
like-
5.
like
But-
just the same way when
yeah.
you're making a movie, sometimes they have to.
I don't need every movie to be 3 hours long.
No,
I like them
because
short
X
sometimes.
X and Y was that short because making the transition of making all the Pokemon 3D and everything like that, and making all the assets
Yeah,
was a bigger stress than
and
That's
which
why I
is-
was like,
They
I
thought,
am
right.
perfectly okay
imagine
with
what
that.
X and Y would have been like if they didn't have to make that leap yet.
Maybe,
I
but
don't-
the experience
So-
gave me a complete experience, so I wasn't.
yeah, the
No,
experience,
like I'm saying, the game was fine. I'm not, but I'm just saying like.
the
It's
3D,
my
the 3D
idea-
was timed well.
My idea is like if you can't do your best with the medium, hey, go ahead, wait a little bit, man. Go ahead, wait a little
like
bit.
both
I-
agree
I-
with you, and I don't. I don't think they need to wait until
We're not
Arceus
about
got
that
3D.
life.
Honestly,
But I
Absolutely.
can make
Wait a
an
little bit.
argument for it though, in that do you guys feel that the last few games have been, because I know a lot of us do know, well, most of us in here, at least 2 of you guys did like, game design, right?
Mhm.
So you understand that there's a great undertaking with these games, right?
Yeah.
In most, when you make games, game development and whatnot. But do you
Yeah.
guys honestly believe that the last few games were Pokemon, like the Pokemon company, were at their best?
No.
Hey,
No.
real
No.
talk. I did not even play
I
the.
think that
Like,
they're-
I think I stopped
that
playing
they're
most of
crushed under
them.
the weight. They're crushed under the weight of the expectation they have been setting.
They
Pattern.
need to slow down.
It's literally because they get rushed to make
Right.
You
a
don't
game.
need to make a
So-
game every
It's literally
year. Every
because-
2 or 3 years is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They get
So-
they get pressure
Yeah.
to drop the games on a time cycle. That's
My
why
Because
that's
gaming-
why the games are rushing unfinished.
Because gaming is a business. It's a business. They gotta sell as much as they can. Like
But
they
I
became the Call of Duty of
It's,
Pokemon.
But I think-
it's not even just a sale thing. It's because they want to hit certain time periods of the
Kingdom
year.
Hearts has proven that
Exactly.
they don't need to do
Also-
that. They don't need to do that. Kingdom Hearts
That's
does
my
that.
thing though. Like
Well,
I know
yeah.
I understand like the sales, I understand like the the marketing goals or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But if you can put all your effort into game development, no matter how many years it might take. All right, not no matter how many years, because yeah, people are going to try to come and hang you. All right, if you take
Yeah.
too long. But like the whole announcement with Scarlet and Violet and everything like that. If the Pokemon Company were to wait and to actually put effort into writing, put effort into the graphics, put effort into
Everything.
designing the Pokemon, put effort into everything, right? If they just wait, I honestly think they wouldn't be having like all these, like in my opinion, Sun and Moon was a failure, complete
100%.
It was a complete failure, and I thought it was embarrassing, to be honest.
Yep.
That's just my opinion.
Yep.
No, I don't think
Even the
anybody
devs didn't like it.
disagrees
Yeah,
Nope.
it was embarrassing, but I would have thought they would have taken that and just halted production and like rework whatever workflow they got. But here they are putting games out every single
Now
year.
the missing piece of it is planned obsolescence, because when you have a franchise that is kind of centered around being accessible for everybody, is on make sure that you're keeping everything in some way. You need to have something out there for kids who don't notice dropped.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out
Yeah, you
there.
cut out a
I
little
didn't
Yeah,
catch that.
you're cutting out a lot.
I'm all up on my mind. But the fact of the matter is, since it's kind of, but Pokemon understands, because of the nature of the game and the world that they've kind of created, they can't afford to take a break. Yeah.
I actually disagree.
I get
I
that they
disagree.
can't afford to
They
take
can't-
a break.
Here, let me
just-
finish.
Yeah.
They
Let
have
me
a whole
finish.
show. They could afford
Let
that.
let me finish. We all dogpile on.
Okay.
They can't afford to take a break because the goalpost keeps moving. Every time they come out with the new show, the new merch, the new TCG, the new game, and all of that, the goalpost moves even more. So when you have a Sun and Moon and you fall short, and that goalpost still moves, you're already behind. And I think that that's kind of what we're seeing in now.
So I would say I
Mhm.
disagree with the idea that they can't, because usually the games are the things that start the wave for the cards, that start the wave for the anime, that start the wave. So it's like, or it's the anime that'll go first,
Mhm.
because like that's the thing. But the reason they force out these games is because they want to keep the anime going. Like one of the biggest money makers is the card game. Uh, and they want to keep printing new cards. That's why they'll drop more Pokemon and stuff like that. But the thing with the games is people would keep playing these Pokemon games if you just put more content in. You know, people want to play the Pokemon games, so you just have to give them a reason to play the games. Like there's a reason there's a whole community of people that made the Pokemon MMO, that make the fan made Pokemon games. You know,
Right.
people like me that still go back and play Black and White 2, or do Nuzlocke versions of those and stuff like that. Like, there's a reason all that exists, and it's because there's something in those games that's done well. It's because they feel like a complete thing. When you rush production, right, and you end up developing a product that isn't a complete product, like all that does is tarnish the reputation. And that's what's been happening over the last couple of years. People have been speaking badly more and more about the Pokemon games because it's a reflection of what games have been dropping. Like, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were clearly in between games made to make money for the next thing. You know?
Legit did not make it past the first gym.
Yeah. So it's
At
like
all.
it was
Yeah.
cool. Like, and then Sword and Shield was, again, it was super incomplete. Like that was like there was a whole thing about the devs talking about that, how that was like Omega rushed, not complete at all. That's why they didn't have the national decks in yet. That's why they had to have two separate expansions for the full complete game that we would have had if they would have had time to complete it. And then Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl or whatever, garbage games again. And it's like those were clearly, you can see that those were games made to just create a budget for the next game. And
Yeah.
that's like, and then there's a stress test where it's like, all right, Sword and Shield, at this point, Sword and Shield was just a way to test out, okay, how can we do open world to eventually start building towards Legends Arceus, which is
Yeah,
a stress
that-
test to eventually lead towards Scarlet and Violet, you know? So it's like when you're forced to follow this cycle because Pokemon companies like, hey, yo, Game Freak, go ahead and drop another Pokemon game right quick for the one time. It's like, when I need it by next year Christmas for little Timmy. You know, and it's like, all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, John's right. I think to add on to that, also, not only are they not incomplete, but what you get lacks substance.
Yep.
Like a lot of the grit of the games, like in Black and White, the story helped grab a number of characters like N.
Mhm.
Thank you, neighbor. Touching on about Pokemon that haven't been touched on before. But when you come to stuff like Sword and Shield, immediately you can see a problem with like the story and the world where they barely develop anything. Like, just to go on a tangent, as soon as you saw President Rose, did anybody here think he was a good guy? Did anybody think he was a good guy?
Come on, bro.
No.
You immediately
Come
knew this
on, man.
slimy, sleazy, corporate
Shade.
looking mofo
Shady.
was up to
man.
some shade. You know it. And
I
you
know-
could tell at this point that they weren't even they weren't doing anything with this world.
Yeah,
they were
no
like
depth.
we were saying, just churning it out because they have to add something out every single year. And that's becoming a problem.
It was
Absolutely.
very shallow. It was very
Yeah.
shallow.
I don't know how they're going to break this cycle, right? Like I can't see Scarlet and Violet all of a sudden being like this return to form. If it does, I will genuinely be surprised.
Yeah, I was
honestly.
thinking that until I played Arceus. I played Arceus, and the feeling I got from playing Arceus, I was like, this game is so close. Like Arceus, if Arceus legit just had more things, it'd be a great game. Like it's a good game. Don't get it's Arceus is like the first time I've had fun playing a Pokemon game since X and Y. Straight up. Haven't had fun playing a Pokemon game since. I've just kind of like straight faced through them and like, all right, I'm done now. You know, so but Legends Arceus actually will like its new system. They have the agile and strong style, which is dope. They still have customization. There's actual story that matters. They have integration of characters from the other games. So now you have those are like Easter eggs for people that have played the other games. Like it's actually interesting. It's fun. It's new, right? And they have new Pokemon in there too with the Hisuian styles. I'm like, that's amazing. Now seeing Scarlet and Violet, right? The fact that they're coming out so soon after Legends Arceus leads me to believe that they were developing this game simultaneously.
Side by side.
Yeah, and then they use Legends Arceus as a barometer, like, okay, how does this run in this environment? Like, how are people responding to it in this? And now, based off of the trailer we saw, there were already things in there where, because Legends Arceus, as you travel between like towns and things like that, there's load screens. Based off of the trailers of Violet and Scarlet, there aren't that many barriers for that. It's more open world, so it's an expansion on the way the engine works. So I think, hopefully, you know, fingers crossed. This is a little bit of hope because I had made the proclamation before Gen 9 when they first announced that Gen 9 was being worked on. I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy Gen 9, but if Gen 9 sucks, I'm done buying Pokemon games. So, and then when Legend Arceus came out and I played it, and the fact that it was good and it was new, I was like, I wanted to make sure to support it because it was the first time they tried something new in a while.
Right.
So
You wanted
I'm
to
like,
reward that for sure.
yeah, I'm like, bet I'm gonna buy this, and then the fact that it was actually good, it was interesting. I was like, all right, hold on. They might be able to do something, even though they had to sacrifice a bit, you know, because it's like Arceus has that issue where this is a game where they'd have to drop DLC for it, for sure.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed my time while I played it. Caught them all, did all the extra post game stuff, getting all the unknowns, doing all the secret boss fights, stuff like that. Did all that. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think that a larger problem with Legends really do like Legends of Arceus, but you know, knowing that it was really the Scarlet and Violet,
Mhm.
it makes me almost nervous to see Scarlet and Violet essentially putting out, you know, returning kind of to the same form, something like promising we're gonna do something new. It's gonna be in a format that you remember and you're familiar with, and I say the same thing now that I did saw that. I say I need to see more before I get my hopes up.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
I
what
understand that.
super worried me, I was really hoping to see more of that, but the resounding reaction on Twitter was mostly it's, and it looks kind of good, and Weed Cat, and that's it. And I'm like, so nobody's like cautiously optimistic, like
Like I said, I've already willed myself and resolved myself to if this game sucks, I'm just done buying Pokemon games. So at this point, I'm just like, hey, bro. Just like with Legends Arceus, when they first announced Arceus, I was like, that game probably gonna suck. Might be good though. We'll see what happens. Came out, played it, actually kinda clean. I was like, nice. And it's like the fact that they had to use a sideline game to test out the mainline game. As a dev, I can appreciate the fact that they did the best with what they could. Like they was like, okay, we have to drop a game for the Switch, right? But we know Game Freak, we know Pokemon Company said we got to drop Gen 9 next year.
Yeah.
Let's use this sideline game right quick, test out the engine, perfect it, get some kinks out, and then, you know, because like I said, Legends Arceus runs way better than I thought it would. of course they have the, the draw distance. You see the Gyarados flying in the air. That joint be moving at 2 frames.
I love that so
You know what I'm
much.
saying? Or you see a Chingling in the background, my boy glitching out. No, not what I glitching out, but you see he got, you know what I'm saying? You can see the
can't-
pixels.
You know
but-
what that reminds me of? It really does remind me of where they came. It takes me back to missing no dick.
Yeah,
Like when they
yeah.
were brave and they wanted to try something, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Gosh, damn it, we're gonna do whatever we can
But
to make this shit interesting."
Yeah, but that's the cool thing about Arceus. It's like even though you have those things, it's like once you get closer, all the Pokemon are fine. You have the there's so many ways to there's so many ways to expand on that foundation they have in Legends Arceus. That's what I'm excited for. I just hope that they deliver on that. Like for example, you have these Pokemon in the wild. Pokemon have natures. It would be great if the Pokemon with different temperaments actually act like their nature.
That would be pretty
like,
dope.
Stuff like
Cool.
that
That
would
would
be
be cool.
amazing, and that's something you can integrate in this kind of engine.
I would be so annoyed. I would
See,
be
but-
happy. No. Hear me out. Hear me out. I would be happy, but I would be so annoyed because we already know how that you're gonna it basically guarantees that all your adamants are gonna be right up front.
That's
with the smoke,
dope.
no matter what.
That is
Hear me
dope.
out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Man, he
But
run up
hear
to me.
But hear me out.
Lazy eye.
It's dope until you're trying to catch the that are like difficult, like a Togepi. I don't want an adamant Togepi. I'm trying to go for my mild boy in the back, and he just keeps running away because he's
so
between
shy.
me and his cousin,
Oh.
and I just
But
He's
that's
like,
why
"Nah,
you
I'm
can bring in the
good."
mechanics of like the
Yeah.
berries, like using the berries to
Exactly.
convince him, like, hey,
That's why
I'm
this
not
engine. That's why this
ready.
engine works. So you got to sneak up on those Pokemon anyway.
oh my
I'm
god.
poop in my grass. I'm over here creeping like a ninja. You know what I'm saying? Throw my hey, what? Got him behind critical catch. That's why this engine has so much they can explore as far as Pokemon, and that's what I'm excited for. The prospects of it. I hope they deliver on that.
I
Here's
agree,
hoping.
and I hope that they consider taking away some of the other roadblocks specific to slow.
And I also like one of the things with Arceus too. Like I don't like the what. All right, one thing that I like that's like a double-sided thing. It's like two sides of the same coin. I
If you
enjoy that
say-
they focused it on the Pokemon more so
Okay.
because it's about the Pokemon. It's like people play Pokemon games because they love the Pokemon. A lot of times, and
Correct.
there's a story that goes alongside of it that gives you a reason to be on that journey with your Pokemon.
Correct.
Great, but the separation of the battling, right? They can maximize that too. Like instead of just all right, I'm fighting against this crazed Pokemon, right? And I'm throwing these bags of sand at homie, right? All right, cool. I should be able to go, I should be able to throw my Pokemon out on the ground, which is a function in the engine. Tell him to do a move while I'm rolling around, throwing my little sack of dust or whatever, something like that, like things like that, because you as a trainer can get hit by enemy attacks, like Pokemon attacks, even when you're out in the wild. So I should be able to throw out my Pokemon and be like, hey, use quick attack, young homie. And then I'm over here dodging and bobbing and weaving while my Pokemon's like stuff like that. I feel like is what would make this what would make Pokemon something great for the next generation of players and still make it something fresh for the people that have been here since, day one. But, do I have confidence that they'll do all that? Hey, man, I wouldn't say confidence is the word, but I have hope at this point. Because
I agree.
Arceus tried so many new
Absolutely.
things, and it was like I said, I genuinely had fun, and it's been a while since I could say that about a Pokemon game. It's been a
Right.
very long time.
Absolutely.
Well,
That's very
well,
I think we've been
well,
going on for a while.
no, it's okay. But I feel like definitely just from we're gonna have a part 2, just like One Piece. Part 1, we're gonna have a Pokemon part 1, part 2. But I feel like the part 2 is gonna happen after Scarlet comes out. We'll have like a real discussion about that, and what they could have done better.
All right,
Maybe
Mr.
some more
Scarlet
black and white
predictions
talk.
in now.
That part 2 of One Piece, that'll be like for like post like New World, right?
Yeah, that's like post New World.
Mm.
Like that's probably like I'm trying to finish it up. Like I'm close. I'm out of the Fisherman arc, so I'm gonna be in Dressrosa pretty soon.
Oh,
so
boy.
probably like around there.
Okay,
eat some
cool.
beans and dress
I'll make
rosy.
part 2 a negative Nancy then. I'll let you guys have your fun part 1. It's time for the negative downer to be here.
Negative Nancy. Whoa.
She ain't a fan, brother. She ain't a fan.
I ain't
Fan of One Piece
whatsoever.
in general or dress rosy?
One Piece in general.
Oh no.
And we will hear more of that later. But in the meantime, thank you guys for listening in. If you liked what you listened to, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. As you can see, we have a Twitter and an Instagram. Follow those for some more news and updates. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.
Later.
Bye.
Take care, y'all.